Uncle Dave.
Yes. Got my nice new
So
sweatshirt on.
I seen that, and I'm actually I'm a little bit bitter. I was thinking I'm gonna have to talk to Tanner and say, no, I need to get a T-shirt so I can still be above you. Because now we're equal. You got one,
uh,
and I got one. I was gonna, I had a feeling you're gonna wear yours. I was gonna wear mine tonight, and then I was
yeah,
like,
I almost thought you had yours on. I was looking.
yeah, I should have. I should have. We got It's kind of weird how this works, but I'll show you since we're warming up here. So I don't know how the wires got crossed on this, but we actually got a new shirt now, and so we got Genie on here on the arm, and then we also have our LiftMaster on the arm, which is a little different font than I'm used to, but it works. And then it's got our affordable, and then a portable on the
Nice.
back. But
Nice.
the bummer part is I really didn't get one because I said I told him, I said, well, order some, and he said okay, and he goes, well, there's a 12, you got to order a dozen minimum. And I was like, oh, I said, well, then order like six large, six extra large, and so he did, but they all got distributed out to everybody else, and all I had was like four large, which large they're going to be kind of snug on me,
Yeah.
and so I got a couple for a couple family, and I guess I'm gonna maybe a couple for the kids or something. I don't know, but I just thought, God darn it, next time I'll make sure I pick up the order, or something, because they already got spread out. So that's all right. They
Yeah.
need 'em- they need them too, so it works
Yeah.
out good that way. So tell me on how'd your screw up go, or how'd you do? What'd you do?
Oh, the guy was jacking up a door.
Uh huh.
Actually, I was bringing the door down.
Oh, let me stop you for a second. You still use the whoopee cushions, the whoopee cushion thing for leveling the door?
Well, no, I haven't used it for a while, but it's
Okay.
on the van. It's on
Okay.
the van. I was using a jack.
Right.
This
Right.
door
Right.
was up off the ground quite a bit.
Sure.
It was halfway up, and
Mm.
I put the cables on it, knowing there wasn't much tension on it, but I couldn't get to the springs, so
Mm.
I put some blocks underneath it and started to lower it with my
Okay.
jack. Well,
Yeah.
the upright of the jack got caught on the strut, and I didn't know. I thought, "What the hell?" And I went one more crank.
Uh-huh.
So now the door's all resting on that upright of the jack, and I didn't know it.
Oh, right, right.
And I grabbed that upright and I pulled it off the strut. And
Mhm.
that door went wham.
Boom.
And I had two pieces of wood down at the bottom, and I was like, "Oh
Sure.
fuck."
Right, right.
Well, I didn't have them turned upright. If I would have had them turned upright, it would have probably saved the center. The center took all the blow where my
Oh,
jack was.
oh,
Fuck.
oh,
Mushroom the
oh,
door
oh.
right in front of the customer.
What
Yeah.
kind of door? What kind of door? Sandwich or what?
Yeah, yeah. And it is painted on the outside a different color. I'm like, "Oh."
Oh my
And
gosh.
he was super nice,
Yeah.
super cool. But I went, and I fixed their operator had pulled away, and I fixed a bunch of stuff and then just
Dang.
gave it to him. Gave him all the
Right.
work, because I
Yeah.
fucked up their door.
I yeah,
But he was
I
super cool. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was definitely a rookie mistake there.
oh
Uh,
yeah, it happens. It
yeah,
happens,
I
you
was
know.
so I was so embarrassed, but you know what? Shit happens, and
It
that's what
does.
it's all about when I do these lives,
Right,
so
right,
so
right.
everybody can see the real deal, and they
Oh.
seen it tonight, boy.
So what did so when that door came down, it smashed right on top of the legs of the
Oh,
jack, basically?
well, it's one of those jacks you see, like, on a Jeep,
Oh,
you know what
oh,
I'm
oh, yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah. The
And it
bumper ones or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it just
Oh.
it mushroomed it bad. I was like, "Oh, fuck." And I probably even said, "Oh, fuck."
Right, right,
I
right.
said it again, but, Yeah,
Yeah.
so I would beat it out, the best I could, and he was really cool about it. He still
Ooh,
wanted to pay me. I said, "Dude," I said, "I no, mm-mm, I'm not
right.
taking your money. No
I know.
way. I
I
would not
know.
feel right. I wouldn't even sleep tonight," you know?
Right. Right. No,
So,
I
yeah,
I get
it
it.
was
I get
just
it.
it was 51 minutes of my time,
Yeah,
but
that is a bummer. I mean,
he did say, "Hey, you'll be my garage door guy." I was like, "Shit, man," after I fricked up your door,
yeah.
you know?
Did you leave a card by the or
I
leave him with a
left him
card or anything?
yeah, I left him a card, and then he wanted multiple more. He worked for the power company. He was a linesman.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, he was really cool about it. Yeah.
Yeah, he might understand.
Yeah.
He's kind of
He
a,
did. He
you
said,
know,
I've
he's a
been there."
contractor. He knows you
Yeah,
didn't do it on
yeah,
purpose.
yeah. And he was just happy that I come out because he was in a bind.
Oh, okay. Sure.
A door was jacked in there sideways in his opening, and it was,
Uh,
I don't know. I 3, 4 o'clock when I did it. I can't remember. It was
right.
later in the day. He was just happy to get somebody out there. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was a big screw up.
So why didn't the spring have much tension if the door was partially down? I'm just curious. Was it just off the drums and stuff or what?
Well, yeah, one cable was completely off when I got there, and
Okay.
the other cable was wrapped around the shaft, and that cable was tight.
Mm.
But then I got up there and I looked, and I was able to grab the shaft and turn it. I'm like, "Shit,
Huh.
there ain't nothing on this."
Yeah, that's weird. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. There was some shit went on because there was a 2 by 4 that the, uh that the garage door with the header, was mounted to, the
Okay.
bracket,
Sure.
and it was pulled away an inch and a half.
Dang.
Yeah, there was some shit that went on, and the shaft was bent.
Oh no.
Yeah, and
So did you
door
have to change the shaft too?
hell no, I didn't change the shaft. Hell no, I wanted to get the hell out of there.
Oh, I bet.
After
I bet.
after I screwed the door up,
Right.
I wanted to leave, but no, the door actually worked fine. I was like,
Okay.
"I can't believe it," because that door went through some crap. Whatever happened, it went through some shit,
Mm.
and it bent the shaft, it pulled the the mount out. I was like, "Holy shit."
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Dang.
I was there quite some time, sweating
50
my butt
minutes, you
off.
think?
I was there 51. When I was driving away, the live said 51 minutes. So,
Oh,
as I
okay.
kinda like doing a live because then it lets me know how long I was there,
Sure.
you
Sure.
know?
Dang,
But,
man. That's
yeah.
crazy. Do you know what kind of door it was?
Uh, I'm gonna have to say it was I wanted to say an overhead, was it a 311 or something like it was I think I have a panel
Oh,
for it,
but
but
you still
it's
have to
n
paint it
they would
and
they would have to paint it and yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but
Mm-mm.
he was so
Mm.
cool about it. They didn't say nothing. They wanted to
Yeah.
pay me. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, no. Oh,
Right.
no."
Yeah.
That made me feel good that they were happy, I said, "Nope, I just want a happy customer. My
Yeah.
time ain't, 51 minutes, so what?"
I guess maybe in that situation too, maybe you could have just asked too, said, "Hey, if you don't mind, I'm sorry, if you're really happy, but could you leave me a Google review?"
Yeah,
That's $20 to me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
True,
so that's always
true.
something and that way it's kind of up to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If they
yeah,
leave nothing, okay, so be it. Thanks. I guess it
yeah,
does
they
open the window for them to be like, this guy damaged my door, but if
yeah.
I don't think they were like that. It didn't sound like that.
No, he was super cool, and they're actually gonna have me come back this summer and put their new perimeter seal on.
Nice, nice. Did
Mhm.
so what's is that opener gonna work for you? That gear I got, you think?
Uh-huh. If you can get her to me, I believe
Yeah,
so.
she's gonna let me know a time. I think she's down there. I think Saturday. I don't know what time.
Where's
What
she
time?
gonna be? Where's she
I
gonna
think
be?
pretty much right by the border somewhere.
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah.
where that because I think she's over back or where there's a casino. I know there's a casino over there, and
Oh, over,
is it Indian City or
yeah, Michigan City, or,
oh maybe I don't know
I
which
think
one
it
it
is
is.
called Michigan City or
It's
something.
just like pretty much right over the border type,
Yeah, I know
you
where you're
know.
talking. Mhm.
So that's where she'll be for
There's like an
Saturday.
outlet mall, and, uh,
Yeah, something they're
there's a
doing.
casino.
Yep, yep. I think when
Yep.
you get off, I think there's a pot shop right there too, pretty big one.
A what?
I think there's a pot shop right there too, kind of somewhere when you're heading towards or like when you turn down that road.
Oh, yeah.
Because man, there's a lot of activity. It must be a big place. I was down there one time, man. And I couldn't believe. I was like, it's like people are walking across the road. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? It's like giving away free donuts, and it's like no. I was talking to her grandpa because he went down there before for the to the casino, and
Uh-huh.
he's like, no, he's like, that's a dispensary. He says that's a big
Oh,
one. And I
oh,
said,
yeah.
oh man. I said, I was wondering what was going on. I said, so they probably got a little gold mine there. You got the casino, you
Yeah.
got Spencer. I mean, they got everything. So, but
That's
yeah.
funny.
So is
Hell
tomorrow
yeah.
looking kind of busy too, or
Yeah, tomorrow we're putting 3 doors in. I went and picked up 3, extension spring Evictadors.
ooh,
Yeah.
I can't believe what extension springs.
Yeah, I only did it because listen to the size.
Uh,
It's 8 wide by 6.5 foot tall.
uh,
6.5 foot tall. There's
so,
no headroom at all. So
ugh.
I'm like, yeah, I'll do extension springs. That's
Oh
what's in
man,
there. It's working now. It's in there. I can make it happen again.
yeah, little doors aren't so bad.
Yeah. And
You know,
we're doing 3 of those, and I'm having a website um put together, and they're coming over, and we're going to do some live shots and some
yeah, yep.
action shots and stuff, they said.
Do you know what that place is called? I doubt it's the same as ours. Is it just local, or is it
What's that?
like who's doing your website? Because I got a guy harassing me. I can't think about. He's got like an orange folder, and I don't know if they're
Um,
linked at all.
no, my guy is my nephew.
Oh, okay,
He has
okay,
a company, and they do like commercials and autobiographies, and they've got some high tech equipment, I guess.
nice,
It's-
nice.
Yeah, yeah,
I was just wondering because this he's been bugging me about. He's like, I come on the job site, and I was kind of like, dude, like I got all the pictures in the world, probably. Like you don't have to come to my job site, but
yeah,
he's been because we long time ago we use is it Haibu? I think we use Haibu, and once they kind of got you signed up and stuff, psh, it's you never hear from them again. So
yeah,
we're probably paying for some service, and I think they can. But it's like one of those things. Like when we quit paying them the service, you kind of lose the website. I think
right,
we got the domain, but we don't. They won't host it or whatever the website part of it.
yeah. That's what he's building it for me, and then I pay um like a monthly fee, 39 bucks.
Sure.
But he built my son-in-law's website, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I don't know how important. I never can get a real read on the website. Like I think it's important to have one, but I never
yeah,
know like like
yeah,
how much people really
right.
like how do
I
they explore it? You know what I
I
mean?
think it I I think it kinda makes it more legit,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think there's an algorithm
you
to
know?
it. Like you want to have some verbiage in there of certain stuff, and
Yeah,
that helps pick up through like Google that you're more legit.
yeah.
But like we're trying to do being what's it called Google,
Certified
yeah, certified.
certified, yeah,
And holy cow, man, you got to
yeah,
send like all this
uh-huh.
insurance in. We're at the stage. Everybody's got to have a background check. So I mean, you know, I I just kind of kept telling the wife, I said, well, keep moving forward because I said, there's going to be blowback, and so now her
Yeah.
her stage right now is the background checks, and then we'll see what the
Yeah.
next one's going to be. So
Yeah.
it's just like
That's
crazy.
crazy. That is crazy.
But she
I
made it
can't
sound
believe it.
like because she said because we're staying so local, she said that it's making us do all these hoops. She said if we did more nationwide, it wouldn't be so bad. And I was like,
Huh.
that's really weird, But it's
That
like,
is weird.
but I did hear somewhere on a video somewhere one time they were talking about like, the objective of Google is to try to get you hooked up with basically the right person. You know what I mean? Like they're
Mm,
they're kind of cracking down in a sense.
mm.
So maybe that's part of their, system
I
now.
know. I know. I get a lot of work from Google. A
Oh yeah.
ton. A
Oh yeah.
ton.
Yeah.
Everybody tells me, "Hey, you got great Google
Yeah.
reviews."
Yeah.
I
Those
hear that
are
all the time.
they're definitely important. There's no doubt about
Mm.
it. And it's organic. I just know. I guess I've heard if you do them like if you get like if you had family member in Texas and you're like you told 20 of them said hey that's not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then at least they see that. And then I
Yep.
heard something about like them talking about possibly this guy mentioned about it also helps if they put the city. I don't know if that's true or not, but he said if somebody's like in another city over, he says if they put it in that review, hey, AFD or whatever, or Tony's Garage Doors,
Uh-huh.
did a great job. We're located in Spring Lake, really hooked us up, blah blah blah. I guess that helps also. So I don't know if that's like because they're
Hmm.
they're putting the city, and that way when people are also searching, it like Google picks that up or something.
Well,
So
that's probably something to that because I had a guy call me and I put him on the schedule. He said I'd been to his house before. We had a great conversation.
hmm.
And I waited till the next week. Tuesday rolled around and I called him up. I said, "Hey, that address you gave me is coming up in Michigan." He says, "Yeah." He says, "I'm just back here by Scott, blah, da, 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 da." And I'm like, "What?" I said, "Dude," I said, "you're 4 hours away from me." He says, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?" Because we were all scheduled up. I was meeting him, he was waiting on me.
Oh shoot! Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought he was in, like, Huntington, Indiana. No, he's an hour past you
oh, jeez.
or better.
So was
I'm
he like
like,
was it Scottville or something?
it was way up there.
Dang
It
man,
it was close to the bridge. I'm like,
dang. No,
holy cow, you're way up there.
yeah.
We just had to laugh about it, but there's another Tony's Garage Door up there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. We get
amazing how many Tony garage doors there is.
yeah. There's some weird stuff. We got affordables, kind of. We got affordable door and more. That's kind of it too.
Oh,
So
okay.
so there's we get that occasionally too. We get some weird glitches in the system in the matrix. It seems like. So I don't know
Yeah.
what to make of it. So how's the trucks
Yeah.
running? Everything's running good.
Yep. Everything's going good. Thinking about Jeff, we're going to buy Jeff a vehicle.
Ooh,
Um, it'll be his vehicle.
nice.
It'll be titled in his name
Oh, nice,
because
nice.
he's a 1099.
Oh yeah, okay, yep, yep,
So with all the insurance and
yeah,
everything, I was kind of getting really worried about all that and him driving my
yeah,
vehicles.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and he just, we talked about it and he's like, "Yeah." I said, "I'll help you buy a vehicle." And
Sure.
that way he's got his own.
Nice, nice. Are you leaning towards anything like a minivan, a van,
A
a truck,
van,
or
a van. He's wanting more like a 3,500,
yeah, yeah,
something big, something pull a trailer, you
yeah,
know. We
yeah,
could throw the scissor lift on it and go.
yeah, yeah,
So he's
yeah.
thinking right,
Oh yeah, oh
you
yeah.
know.
I mean,
So
you can't go wrong, especially I just I don't know, man. They're like a Swiss Army knife. You just can't,
Yeah.
especially for employees and stuff. And then if you got to take it home, you got. I just drove past a plumber that's local here in town, and I was looking. I was like, man, it's like park that service vehicle right on the road, right for somebody to open up the doors and steal stuff out of it. But what's nice is hopefully it's locked.
Mhm.
But if it's a truck, well, if you got stuff hanging out back there, you threw some tools or whatever. It's
Yeah.
somebody might
Yep.
grab it. You just never know.
Like that video you had the other night with you said all the stuff in the back. You can't go into Lowe's.
Nope,
You
nope.
can't. And that sucks.
It does because there's all the time that I'm needing something,
Unloading,
and
loading,
yep,
unloading,
yep.
loading.
There's
Screw
a lot
that.
of times I gotta bring the wife, I gotta grab one of the kids, and then
Yep.
it's like I gotta either some of the kids got phones now, at least the one does. And then otherwise I used to have to carry a walkie-talkie. I'd bring a walkie-talkie, and how good is that in the store? You don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Or
Right.
sometimes I would leave them just, my phone, then take my walkie-talkie and kind of, hey, if you do run into a problem, just call 911, or something. But,
Hmm.
it's just there's a lot of ups and downs with it.
Hmm.
I seen Chip was in here. Hey Chip. I
Yeah.
see Rusty dropped in.
Yeah. Is Chip still on here?
Mm,
I
yeah,
wanted
he's
to
probably
wanted to
out getting his.
show him. I was talking
Ooh.
with Chip, by the way. Chip called me today on that gear sprocket assembly, which I really appreciate.
Oh, nice.
I have had so many people reach out
Oh,
about that gear. And it's you can't find it.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. That's insane.
That's
You
crazy.
cannot you cannot find it.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
but yeah, I'm very, very thankful. I wanted to say that about, thanks, Dave, for building this community.
Oh, no problem, man. I'm glad
That's
everybody's here.
like
It's
that's
I
like,
learned
man,
too.
I
So
I like boom, ask a question. I had phone calls today. It was awesome.
that's awesome, man. I
It
figured
is.
I think you sent that text. I didn't quite know what it meant, something university, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's like I didn't know. I forgot to respond back. I was like, I don't know what he's
yeah,
talking about.
kicking butt. I mean, yeah, thank you. But
Oh yeah.
Chip, I was telling Chip about we were talking about the square-headed, like the wood doors,
Yeah.
and this is a socket that you can buy that fits the square-headed,
Oh.
and you can buy it at Harbor Freight. It's
Ah,
Pittsburgh line,
I'll be darned.
and they fit square head perfect.
Does
And
it
I'll use them.
say how many points does it, or does it say it does square or anything on it just to identify it more at the store?
It
Or is it
says
like I don't know if they're a 12 or 16 point or whatever.
it says spine sprocket set
Okay. Okay.
is what it says, and it's Pittsburgh. And
Uh
if you look at it real close,
yeah.
it has a bunch of little. It's not a 12 point, but they're
Right.
little nubs that stick out.
Does
Works very well.
that's standard, right?
This is,
Okay.
um, I this one's standard that I bought
Okay.
from, Harbor Freight, but I
Yep.
have another one I might have bought from, like, Lowe's or somewhere. It has metric and standard,
Okay.
which don't really they're not far off. They work because I have
Mm.
one in one truck and a metric in the other, and it
Oh,
don't matter. I can
gotcha.
I can do wood door, take off the screws, square headed. But it's really not. I mean, this is cheap. This is probably $10,
Oh yeah, Harbor
15
Freight's
bucks.
Harbor Freight's worth it,
And I put them on my impact.
Right.
They
Right.
handle the impact. And
Well, that's
even if
good to
they do
know
break, they're yeah, this is a
because
nice tool.
I used to do the
Yep.
Craftsman, but I don't think I can get the Craftsmans anymore.
Yeah. Yep. But I wanted to show Chip that we were talking about wood doors and stuff. Chip, he's down there in Naples. He's got a bunch of kind of like me. He saves a bunch of used parts, and he says I've got 20 years worth of Chamberlain boards, and
I tell
that's
you
pretty
what,
crazy.
I was thinking about because when you were actually on your live, I was in the dumpster digging out that opener, and
Yeah.
and I I don't like to be a hoarder. You know what I mean? I try to keep stuff somewhat clean.
Right.
But I was thinking about that today and I thought, man, are we gonna start running into an era that like we like I was thinking like Tony, I was like I'm thinking about on your live or somebody else like somebody needs to have a salvage yard,
Yeah,
because I'm
really.
like
It ain't
I'm
no
just kind of
kidding.
going, I think this is the new trend, man. I think, the automobile manufacturers have learned it. I think the garage door manufacturers are starting to come into it. Because I've seen that with garage doors as well. Like they go about 5 years and then they change their product line. So, when you need a
Mhm.
section, they're like, oh, we don't make that anymore. And you're like, oh, well,
Yep.
fantastic.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. Here, you can check out those comments.
Good
I
deal,
gotta,
Chip.
let me see. Somebody messaged me about a question. I'm gonna see if they come on the live. Let me see if we can find it.
Let's see here. Chip says hi. There's Rusty. He's talking about a toolbox, crew cab for the inside storage. Yeah, that's what I do with the white truck.
Oh,
Chip
crew
says,
cab inside.
yeah. Rusty
What do you?
has the same set. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I was just thinking, like, I was trying to think about what's the pros, about the crew
Yeah.
cab part, building the inside. If you got, because you got on yours too, don't you got some drawers that come out?
Yeah, well, that's actually from like a van. I custom did that myself. That was
Oh,
yeah. That
gotcha.
was that's actually a van side door slide out, and I had to take there's 3 drawers, and I took the metal sides off of it and turned it into wood so I could make it a little bit smaller so it'd fit in and out my door.
Okay.
And then it
Yeah.
had 3 shelves. Yeah. So it was some modifying, but I tell you what, when that's all I had when I started, boy, I mean, because like you said, you throw it in the back of the truck, you can't leave it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guess what? If it rains, guess what? Your tools
Yeah.
are wet.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it leaks, not all
Right.
those containers are
Yeah.
watertight. I've had
Right.
water in them, you know, it's
Yep.
been like, "Oh, shoot." So
Yeah.
that's why I took out the back seat. I put that
Yeah.
baby in,
Makes
but
sense.
I say a van. They're nothing better than a van.
If you got bad
Mm,
weather, if you're maybe down like Texas or Florida or
yeah,
like
that you don't have to ever
Arizona.
worry about it. You get a like you could get a capper for your truck,
Yeah.
you know, a
I
lockable
yeah.
and still have all that stuff in there,
Yeah. The problem is,
you
see,
know.
I had one lined up. It was like $750.
Uh-huh.
The problem, I mean, I'm different than most. My truck is a lightweight. So for one, I put a cap on it. It's going to add weight to it. And then second
Mhm.
is how I stack my bins in there right now. So then I was thinking, well, I basically have to just throw everything into a pile because I won't know how to
Mhm.
separate it. Because the problem is if I do the pack outs, I need the room on the side right now to get everything to slide and lock together and then get them out. Where if I'm digging through a side window, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't
Yep.
lift
Yep.
up.
Yep.
I'm gonna be really compartmentalized or whatever. So
Yep.
I decided that's why I ended up just putting the piece of wood on really because we started having a month or so back there, we had just such heavy snow. I was just like, I can't have the back of my truck just dumped on with 3 inches of snow when I'm at the job site and then I'm trying to open
Yeah.
my lids on stuff. And I had a couple that were draining a little bit inside. And so at nighttime, you take it in the garage, but the garage is still wet, the floor's wet, the truck's
Mhm.
dripping everywhere. I got fans going, I'm trying to WD everything. It's like, oh, it's like
Mhm.
it's like, what? Dinner's ready. 30 minutes later, dinner. It's getting cold. Okay, 2 hours later, I guess we'll just stick it in the mic. Okay,
Yep.
and it's like, man, where it's like, I just don't ever feel like I have that problem with the van. I can have doors open. It can start raining on me, but if I have like even the toolboxes, like Rusty was saying, I've had toolboxes that either employees do it, they leave them open, and all of a sudden you're
Mhm.
busy down working on a gate or something, a door. You come out, holy man, you left the thing open, man.
Yep.
Now everything's got that coat in it, and then it gets the drips in the bottom. Now it's just like manifest of rust going to happen. Now your winding
Yep.
bars, everything. You're like, oh, So at least with vans, when the doors are open, normally there's nothing in the doors unless it's the front doors, maybe. But it's like, yeah, the walkway gets a little wet or something, but at least everything's still, sheltered. That's what I like. And even
Right.
Caleb told me today, because he's been using one of the guys' vans for some of his jobs that he's been working on, and he goes, man, he goes, oh, I can see what you're saying, because he was doing one that was kind of a long distance loser, and he goes, man, it was so nice. He goes, I was so tired. He goes, I just threw everything in that van. I just shut the doors. And he said, I went right down the highway. He said, he goes, where I use my truck. He goes, I got to put stuff on top of it. I got to tape it. He says, I got to take ratchet straps. And I said, oh, I know, dude.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, and I said, you only did one door. I said, try to do 2 or 3 doors in a day. And your vehicle's just crammed full of garbage. And I said, like, that's the last thing you just want to, I mean, you're just crippled driving home. You're just like paralyzed. You're like,
Right.
like I just need a hot tub, or I need like a massaging chair. Like I need, you know, you get home, kids, wife, whatever, they're trying to attack you, you're just like, leave me alone. I need an hour. Decompress.
That's funny.
So yeah, it's fun. Let's see here. What's Chip? He says he's small case. Pick up one Harbor Freight, less than a mile away. Yeah, I'm so
Nice.
happy. Do you have a Harbor Freight pretty close to you, Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, within I'd say 3 mile, 4
Oh
mile.
shoot. That's about
Yeah,
what we have. So at
not
the
far.
shop, anyways. That's nice, man. I remember a guy I used to know. Anytime I was go out to Grand Rapids, he'd always, hey man, can you stop at Harbor Freight? Because that was the only one we had was way out in Grand Rapids. So that's 45 minutes, hour and 15 drive one way. And finally we got one in Muskegon. So I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Mm.
But what's really weird is, just so people know and yourself, is I've been noticing um Harbor Freight prices on some stuff, and I'm not saying they're bad by any means, and obviously the sockets, I would think I would just buy them from them. But like, I'm looking for a tire, a bead breaker right now. You clamp it on the
Uh-huh.
side of the rim, it'll break your rim, or break the bead off. Well, they're $100, and I can get
Damn.
one through Amazon for 69.
Oh,
So
wow.
you know what I mean? Like, I've been
Yeah.
noticing. I was gonna buy one of those smokers for your vehicle to test if you got leaks somewhere,
Oh,
and I think they were like, 500-600 bucks, and I got one for like 200 bucks ish right there, two something, 225, maybe 211. I can't remember. So, you gotta kind
nice.
of, if you're looking
Yeah.
for a better price and you can wait, and on certain stuff, you gotta do your homework. But you
Right.
can find them.
Yeah. But if you need it now, that Harbor Freight, I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
exactly, exactly. You can't beat it. You know what I
Well,
mean? And so,
like these, I mean, come on. How often I don't do a
yeah,
wooden door all the time,
right,
and to buy these, you
yeah,
lose one, that's
yep,
nothing.
yep, nothing.
That's nothing.
Chump change.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really
But
nice that
and
they
they
have them.
yeah, and they're great. I mean, they're well built. They work
Oh yeah.
good,
Heck,
you
I got
know.
sockets I use for my impact and stuff, and it's it's really weird, the world that we live in, because sometimes it's like I almost get like it's kind of like it's like this little guy right here, right? This little charger thing I got. You know, I didn't know it came with this little port in the back for so I could plug in my cell phone. You know what I mean? But it's like it's just a nice little bonus. It's a cheap little Chinese, knockoff, whatever. But damn, that was nice. A nice little feature that it came with. And so what I'm getting at is, sometimes with these tools, I'll be damned if
Mhm.
sometimes the sockets I look at, I go, these are pretty beefy ass sockets. You know what I mean? They're actually better than
Mhm.
when I was buying maybe some Craftsman or something.
Right.
So you got to do your homework. I think that's why they have those
Right.
debates on the internet all the time about Snap-on versus Harbor Freight, and boy, these look really similar. And so who
Right.
knows what's really going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I see.
People, they're, just wanting to make money anymore.
Yeah, yeah, it's Tanner's in the house,
Yep.
sweatshirt, get one. Tanner, I was giving I
Nice
was
one.
giving I was giving Tony crap. I was like, "Now we're equal." I said, "Now I need a t-shirt." I said, I actually need a long sleeve. If you get a long sleeve, you can always send me one. I'll even pay for it. I'm desperate for long sleeves right now. It's like with all this cold weather, I've been layering up, and I only got like 4 long sleeves, and of course you burn through those in no time, for laundry. And so I gotta.
Okay, okay, Tanner, if you get him a long sleeve, I gotta have a long sleeve
No, no,
or
Tony
or
don't
a
get
short
one.
sleeve.
No, Tony don't. Yeah, Tony he can have the short stick. Maybe the short sleeve.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. So do you think
But
what are you feeling like down there with the old economy and stuff? 'Cause, I mean, I know it sounds like you're saying pretty busy at the moment.
we're yeah, I mean, it's we we're not doing a lot of new construction or anything, nor I don't even wanna do new construction.
Yeah.
I think the money's not there. Um, but the
Yeah.
money I think is in, like what I'm doing, just
Yeah.
residential or even some commercial. I'm gonna start getting into a little more commercial.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we did this door that we're working on now, it's a 14 footer that has that linear.
Mm.
It's a light duty commercial,
Mhm.
same gear that a residential has.
Yeah.
The unit looks like it's a residential unit.
Yeah.
It does say light duty commercial inside though on the
Inside of the
on
box.
well, like on the behind the
Mm.
light cover.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll grab that one. I got it in the truck. Maybe I'll grab it here shortly, take a look at it because I don't
But
know.
it
Is it?
don't it's the same daggone thing. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, yeah. I see what gear you were
That
holding up earlier.
yeah. Yeah,
And
that
that's not
part
not that
I
gear. You need that more fine gear.
yeah, I swear that's that Moramatic. If you remember the turquoise
Yeah, I
Moramatic,
do. Yep, I do.
I think that's the gear for it.
Yeah, I know. So is it what's on it? Is it a chain drive that's on that 14 foot, or is it a belt? Because this one was a belt, but
Mm,
from what I understand with Lanier, you can, the rails were interchanged. You could put a chain on
yeah,
it. You could put a
yeah.
belt on it.
Um, I don't know. I Jeff went up there. I think it's
Oh,
chain. I think it's chain.
I was just thinking, man,
But
14 with a belt, that's a long stretch.
yeah, I don't I think it's chain. But yeah, the I swear the gear looks no different than a residential.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's
the
kind of like
whole
when you go,
housing, that picture you sent me today
yeah.
looks like I was looking up in that unit.
I
I was
was
like,
trying. I was trying to
"Huh,
look. I'm gonna take another peek at it here shortly. I wanted to make sure nothing looked cracked. It's kind of greasy looking, so I couldn't really tell. But
yeah."
I was like, I don't look like it's broke. So that was a good thing you said something because I was like, man, I know I seen something in that hopper a couple days ago. So I went digging.
That's one thing I never say I say maybe the linear photo cells, the wall button, but that gear was such a pain in the butt to get out.
Yeah, yeah,
I never took them out.
right,
I
right.
never did, and boy, I'm kicking myself in the butt now. I don't even have
Ah,
one laying around. I
right.
I had
Well,
2 of them
Well, I
forever,
kind of
and
I kind of feel like a donkey about it too because not too long ago we took one out of a residential, and that was the one that I think I did the video. It got burnt, got fried by the 240,
oh,
and there was a dumpster right there, and I don't really come across many linears, so I saved the photo eyes, a couple other things, a wall button, and I was like, I don't really want to haul this thing. I was like, we'll just chuck her in the dumpster, and so now it's like, oh, that one, and it looks like a damn near a brand new
mm,
unit. Everything was really nice shape on it. It was fried, and I thought,
mhm.
circuit board probably took a hit, capacitor. I ain't got time to screw with it. It's just going to go in the hopper. So it's kind of a shame because I was like, I don't really know what to do with this. And I was just like, I'm going to junk it. And now it's like, where
Yeah.
sometimes I think because they're along the shop here, there's property behind. And sometimes I'm like, how do you keep them so they're not sitting in dirt? I put a bunch of
Yeah.
skids down. The skids still will rot over the years, and then what? You just, you know, throw a big pile of them or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. I mean,
Yeah.
I like my buddy. I think he was on asphalt, and what they used to do at his company there is he said they would pile up all the scrap metal like basically through the whole year. And he said then when
Yeah.
we hit our like slow season, he said we would actually get hoppers coming in and would bring a hopper in and then we'd throw our stuff in. And I thought sometimes I always think that's not a bad idea because then kind
Mhm.
of through the year you kind of got a surplus of parts
That's
there,
right. Yep.
and where us, it's like our dumpster gets full really quick because you can't compress everything. So it's once it starts getting to a certain level, it's like, we got to get it taken out. And then time it gets taken out is when you go, crap, man, there was something in there I could really use right now, and it's like, well, that's
Mhm.
gone, you know. So
Oh, yeah. That's the whole reason I have that shipping container of
yeah,
used, just so you never know.
I know,
You never
I
know,
know,
especially like panels.
yeah,
The panels they don't make anymore. You're like,
yes.
shit, I don't want where are you going to put them? Well, the shipping container, that's perfect for them.
Right. You ever
They
got any
don't,
Tanner put in here? He's got the Harbor Freight, has nice roller jacks. Those are pretty nice jacks. I bought one at a really good discount. I think it was like 80 bucks off or something just recently. I do like their floor jacks.
well, that's where I bought a couple of those jacks that I screwed up that door today.
Yeah. What do they call those things? They're like bumper jacks or
Oh,
Jeep jacks or
yeah, it's
something.
like a Jeep jack is what I call
You
it.
ever had
Yeah.
that thing if you ever do it like kind of something heavy? And I got that thing bouncing one time and it was like bap, 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 and it's like it just worked its way right down. I was like,
Oh,
holy
kept
crap.
going.
I was
Oh
like,
yeah, you gotta. Yeah,
it was
yeah.
kind of dangerous. I think what it was, I had a trailer that would tip. So I mounted it on the front and it was on the beam and I'd crank that puppy up to get its tip. And then one time I was bringing it down, man, and it got on, like my hand slipped. It was wet, raining out. That thing was going cuckoo, cuckoo. I'm
Kept
like,
going. Yeah.
right. I'm like, what the hell? I said, I didn't know what to do. So, uh, let's
Well,
see, Tanner's.
don't ever get it one notch below, like having no pressure on it because it'll drop to the floor.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Once you take that weight off of it, that's like that thing will fall.
Residentials. Oh yeah, yeah, yep. I was reading what Tanner had here. He had something. He said something about, I think he's got. I think three of us gonna break Hill commercial around here. He says something about other two lose on residential. It's always a weird balance. I never know what to think about.
Mhm.
Peter's here. What's up, Peter? Can't stay long. Bummer, man.
Uh,
Tell the wife the girlfriend to handle it. She can take out the garbage tonight. Tell her it's guys' night. Yeah, it's a weird, I really struggle, sometimes I'm, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's like the commercial can be kind of stress. I mean, I don't know. Maybe commercial is more stressful sometimes. I mean, it's sometimes better paying. Um, but it's a lot more money sitting, type of thing. You got to have more money out there sitting type of thing. I mean, you're going to pay half down, but residential is really nice because it's quick cash. It's just boom, boom, boom,
mhm.
boom. You're done. It's just like grocery store. You don't go to the grocery store and say, "Well, I'll pay you later." No, it's your shopping cart's full, and you got to
Right.
pay that 200-300 bucks and before you leave. And
Oops.
the is it the Brunt? You have to let us know about the Brunt boots. I don't know about the Brunt boots. Oh, we going to Daytona?
No, I was just gonna turn the. I thought I had the computer on, had it on YouTube.
Oh, gotcha.
I was gonna see on my camera. You're froze up.
Oh, I
I
don't
didn't
think.
know. I don't know if anybody else.
No, I think I'm still moving.
For some reason, I don't see you moving. It's like you've
Nah,
been in the same position.
I'm sleepy. Tell us about those Brunt boots though, because I know there's a guy here, Tanner, that wears them, and he seems to really love them. And I just didn't know if it's more of a hype. They do so much advertising.
I've never
Uh,
heard of them.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff like on Facebook and social media. Um, I just don't know what to. I don't even know what ones to pick. I'm kind of, right now I'm stuck on my. Well, I ain't got them right now, but I got my Cabela's insulated, weather or waterproof boots because it's kind of mucky right
Mm,
now this time of season.
yeah. I like the
Uh,
muck boots.
Muck boots. Do you wear them
Yeah.
like knee high though?
Yeah, I wear the yep.
Tall ones. Yeah.
Well,
I
when
just.
it's snowy, I
Oh, for
do,
sure, for sure.
and wet and sloppy. Heck yeah.
Sometimes I've been carrying 2 to 3 boots, with me just to have dry boots or depending on the conditions I'm getting in. Evan's
Yeah.
here.
Oh,
What's up, Evan?
there it is.
Truck's looking nice with the stickers. High lift jack. We call them
Huh.
farm jacks. Yeah, the farm jacks are.
Farm jacks, yep.
Yeah, that's a good terminology for them. The farm jacks.
Here we are. Oh, yeah. You're
Residential is
moving.
boring. Yeah,
You're
I don't
moving.
know. I don't know what the. I think for me it's changed a little bit because I'm not so much out there anymore. So it's always a little bit it's like residential I can go in and people don't know me. I can be nice, I can do all the stuff and it's like I don't get the whole uh how do you say it? Like get sucked in, you know what I mean? you know. I, I mean, I don't know. Like Tony, does this ever like happen to you? Like, I mean, you know how it is. Like, you get certain customers that's like, I don't really know how to explain. I don't know if it's like you kind of turn into it's like a yes man, or it's like you go there and then it's like,
Oh,
oh hey, can you also? And it's like,
oh, yeah,
oh, it's like, and then you're
yeah,
like, man, I was
yeah,
only expected to be here for 2 hours. Now we're going to be
yeah.
here for like 4 to 6, and it's like, now you're like, what do I do? It's like for me, I'd have to call the secretary. I got to call some customers and say, can I move you? Or I'm like, well, I'll come back, and then you gotta, I mean, I was thinking like tonight, like these are things behind the scenes that nobody's going to see, right? Like, so tonight, I told you, I said, I'm out doing a couple jobs, right?
Uh-huh.
So one that I stopped at was a the commercial one that we're working on the gate right now. Now, when we took the gate operator out, there was two set of wires in there. It's a 220 unit, but there was two sets of wires, and I'm like, well, this is like extra, and I'm like, but it's powered. But then when you do the breaker, it's not a two pole; it's a single pole, 110, 110, and then the other one for the gate that was being used was there, but they were on. Now I was reading the print; it said something about a light. Well, there is a light out there, so I tried checking with power. I even took the light cover off, on the big pole and checked in there. I couldn't find power just with my little meter. But if anybody's got a good voltmeter, let me know because the one I got doesn't seem like it detects that good. I have to really kind of push hard on the wire to make it to light up, and it kind of makes me
Mm,
nervous. Where I'd rather have it more like dee 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 dee, like there's
yeah.
power, and I'm like, oh okay. So I'm checking. I can't find nothing. Then I was telling Caleb, I said, well, maybe I said it's on a motion. I said, where something out here, when it detects it's getting dark, it clicks, it kills, it shuts or it sends the power out to turn these lights on. I don't know. So I said, only thing I think I can do is come here at nighttime. I said, and if that light isn't on, then obviously we turn the breaker off to it. And that breaker's got to be left on because they had it dudded with just wire nuts, but the power was on. So I went up there tonight, but here's, one of those things, right? Behind the scenes that if I clocked myself in, my profit's going down, gas,
Mm,
wear and tear, my time, to check on something. Cause now what I'm probably going to do is say, hey guys, when you go up there, cause they're going to go up there tomorrow, they got a semi truck coming with the gate and the operator. I'm going to say, you don't have to turn on that other one, far as I know. You know what I mean? Leave it dead, hook up the one. You got to still, cause it's in the same piece of conduit, but you don't have to hook those up. It's fine. So there's just all these things that, uh, just play into sometimes a lot of like it was funny because Cap told me the other day because we had two of those big doors, and he told me, he said, I said, man, I said, this job went great. We got it knocked out in 2 days. And where it took me and Caleb, like it was either 6 or 7 days. And he goes, yeah, but I like how he put it. He said, you guys had to walk so we could run. And I'm thinking, I said, you're exactly right, because we were missing a spreader bar. And I still don't understand why the LiftMaster, it's got an inch and a quarter shaft, but it's not quite an inch and a quarter shaft. That's sloppy.
Hmm.
So I already ordered 3 of the spreader arms, and luckily I ordered 3 for that one job, because I had to separate one to do inch and a quarter, because it was inch and a quarter, 1 inch. That's all they sell through Service Spring. So
Hmm.
now when the next job comes, the wife of Tron's like, how many should I order? I'm like, I don't know. But I was like, we made 3 work for that job, even though we probably don't need 3. I said, just order 3 more. I said, and then we need split collars. So there was like all these things. We had an electrician that was kind of in our way for a day. So that kind of killed the day, with him doing wire up stuff. Just a lot of like, we found out in the second job we went to, um, Cap ordered the door 3 inches shorter for track wise. The ceiling was 3 inches shorter. Well, the builder built the one. We gave them shop drawings. Well, they probably didn't either look or thought it was the same. So they built that header piece for the springs the same. Well, when he's up there shooting the laser, he's like, I think we got a problem. And I'm like, do not tell me that box, it's all furred out with metal plates on it, is in the wrong spot. And then he finally goes, I think we're gonna hit it, but we're gonna be close. I'm like, oh, I'm like, I do not want to take this huge box that they built to bump everything out the same distance and have to move that thing up or do some weird, you know what I mean? So there's just like a whole different level to it, and I'm not saying it's bad or good. I mean, the money was great. I mean, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's at the end of the day on a Friday, you know, I'm already thinking the guys can be done. They already got service calls that one's going to go do a service call, which of course, what's he do? He goes to one of those stinking residential lift masters with the LED problems. So he's trying to change the frequency.
Oh.
And I tell you what, I'm really surprised he confessed this to me the other day. He's always been a true LiftMaster fan. And he told me, he goes, man, Dave, he goes, I had a customer ask me today. He goes, if you were going to put an opener in your house, what would it be? And he goes, boy, he says, you're asking me at a day and time. He says, I really don't know how to answer that, And I said, I'm telling you, because he also just experienced another bad wall button. So he had to get this one was out of warranty. So he had to get the customer a price for another wall
Mhm.
button. And I'm like, I'm telling you, dude. I'm like, how much easier would it be to go Ace Hardware? Or he said, he's like, I already got 3 doorbells on my truck. If I could have just hooked a doorbell to it, And I said, right. But I said, you can't do that. I said, because it needs that circuit board. So I just thought
Yeah.
that was interesting to hear that from him. So, and we did just use our last. So if anybody knows what a good substitute, because it would be nice to get a couple more LiftMaster because we do have rails. Um, but we used what's the one that you like? The 8365 Zero?
Yep.
Is that
Yep.
yeah.
Hmm.
That was
Yep.
our last one. As far as I know, you can't get them anymore, right?
Right.
Oh,
That's what
so
I heard.
yep. Well,
Maybe
she
off of
checked a couple.
eBay or something.
Yeah, yeah. Ain't gonna, I'm just
Mhm.
trying to find what's the next one that doesn't have a camera on it that's LiftMaster, if they even have one. That's, but
Oh, yeah.
I know those UFO ones right now are giving us a lot of problems. And even LiftMaster said the lady said she had 100 last year that gave her problems with the frequencies. So I don't know if that's just a trend for those ones or what's going on.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
right. And I was in shock when he said, because he said, well, she even said she had 100 last year, and I said, I'm like looking at him. I said, who said that? I said, and he goes, tech
Yeah.
support. And I went, oh my gosh. I said, they
Yeah.
did? I said, because normally they always do we never heard of that, And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, like, I want to be like, I know this phone call is recorded and you might lose your job, but like, can you text me or something, Kind of like a secret date. Just can you shoot me a little text? Give me a little something here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I'm calling bull crap. So
Yeah.
I just thought that was nice that they did admit it. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's rare
It is. It is.
for sure.
So yeah, yeah, so we just been having, I just thought it was funny that he was, and I told him, I said, dude, I said, I think I've only heard of one. I said, we haven't had, any genies that we know of. And there'll be a video coming out about the one that we did on the lakeshore. not too long, and that one that got us bad. That got us bad. It had me and Cap go out there, the most seasoned vets. He grabs remotes. Then we start talking. We're like, I go, I said, you bring the remotes? He goes, well, yeah. And I said, he goes, I don't know if they got all the remotes there. I'm like, damn it, another variable. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm.
like, that's a good question. So I just already got done talking to the wife on the phone. I said, hey, can we come out? She said, sure, go ahead. She already knew they've been living with this problem. The technician that was already there even kind of consulted with them, like, would you guys be opposed to, how are you supposed to removing your lights in your garage to different to make it work? And so, anyways, we go out there, and luckily, so anyways, Cap asked me, he said, hey, he goes, are they going to have all the remotes? I said, damn. I said, that's a good question. I said, I got a few things to do. I said, do you want me to call or are you going to call? He said, I'll call. So he calls, and then next thing I know, he goes, she's not answering. I left a voicemail. Oh, fudge. And, we got half the day of something that we want to get this out of our life. You know what I mean? And it's been on our sheet to get this taken care of. Like, I just want it gone. I want this customer taken care of. I want, or move on to the next, what needs to be next. So of course, I'm like, well, you already got the remotes. They might get one or two extra remotes. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just a losing money situation. Screw it, anyways. You know what I mean? I think we already been there two or three times because of this LED issue crap.
Oh yeah.
And so, anyways, of course, when we're heading out there, what do we have here in Michigan? We have a blizzard. So we take Cavs fan, and we get about a quarter way into it. Now I decided this was a bad idea taking this van. You know what I mean? Like, this thing is squirrely. It's just the roads are really crappy. So, anyways, we get all the way out there, we do our thing, and all of a sudden we get to the keypad. And he's like, well, yeah, he says, see, these remotes already say MC on them. So long as they say MC, you got to hit it 5 times and get it into this learn and all this other stuff. Come to find out, he's messing with the keypad. And I said, what's going on? He goes, I don't think the keypad's going to link up. And I said, oh, come on. And he goes, so he starts digging through his van, and I'm doing like oh, please, Lord gods, please let him have a max on his van. Like, he's like, here's one. Oh, that's not the right. Oh, that's not the right one. I'm like, come on. And so
Ah.
he doesn't have one. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, how is it? How does that even? How do they send you MCs for remotes, but they don't send you an MC for outside keypad? So now I'm just like, we're limited on people. I have nobody to call to say, hey, can you run us or meet us halfway? So, and of course, now what happens, right? We start leaving. Secretary calls, hey, can you guys do a service call? Would love to, but we're kind of running out of time. So we're doing the debate, well, it's up here, it's another 20 minutes, what time we get back to this customer that we already told we're going to be back. We're not going to get back there till 6 or 7 at night. So, so we decided to go back, and all we supposedly need is a keypad. So we go back. Luckily, we got one, but we have two, and they light up different colors because they're like, one's kind of an older one, one's from like 16, one's from 20 or something. And I'm like, whatever. It's like, bring them both. And now I'm like hoping that they didn't change something from 20 to
Right.
current. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Right.
and I'm like, why are they even different colors when you hit the buttons? I'm like, just bring them both. Like, bring them both. Told him, I said, we're not taking your van. I said, we're taking my truck, 4-wheel drive, winter tires, studs. I said, we're gonna go. I said, we're not screwing with that. So we go out there, we get the keypad, everything's working, awesome. I know the wife's coming home, so I'm thinking, hopefully we get out of here soon enough that we don't, intersect with her on the driveway, because they're on Lake Michigan, so it's like a mile driveway from the road. You know what I mean? So, and it's all woods and stuff. Well, anyways, we're backing up, and here comes the wife. Oh man! So here comes. I said, I knew it. No big deal, right? She's gonna pass us, and I could see the reach. She's reaching. Nothing's happening. Well, why is nothing happening? Well, she's using her home link, and obviously we just cleared out all the codes. So all of a
Oh.
sudden we're like Caps with me, and he's like, man, he goes, thank goodness we caught her. I said, yeah. He goes, that would have probably been another trip out here. And I'm like, shh.
Oh.
So I'm just like, yep. I'm like, all right, let's get her car. So we get her car linked up. They're all happy. They're great customers, but what a freaking nightmare. Like, I think we've been to this customer now. We did a door opener for them. We also did a door. They had a wire issue, which I think wasn't us. I think it was behind the wall. You know what I mean? So we've been to this customer 8 freaking times for a door and an opener. You know what I mean? One was like a detail. So, but you know, what I mean, you can kind of do the math. Like
Yeah.
we should have probably been there most maybe 3 to
Yeah.
6, you know, but we've been here like 7 or 8, you know what I mean? And it's just like, just please leave. You know, like, can we just give this to you? You never like call us again. Like, you know, and what was really strange is we got the instructions. And of course, you know how it is. We're on Lake Michigan. So self service is not the best. And Cap's going through it and he's like, man, he's like, this is not working the way I think it should. Anyways, we had to call tech support. Anyways, he gets the customer come out. Customer, of course, got brand new, spanking brand new SUV sitting there. I mean, the Denali of the Denali's. So he gets in there, he's gonna program it. He's like, he even tells me, he goes, I don't even use the home link. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, it's on the computer screen. He goes, they put it in a horrible spot where the cup holder is, so you can't reach it anyway. So I just use the remote, and I'm just like, oh, thank goodness, use the remote. Good for you, good boy. You know, because I
Uh,
just that home link stuff is always. But what was weird is he wanted to check his home link or whatever. He was like, can we link it just so it's there in case I lose the remote? Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. It never cleared out of the SUV. So I told him, I said, man, that's kind of weird. I was telling the customer, I said, man, I said, if you
yes.
guys ever got divorced or something, I said, like, we can't show up and like confidently feel like we cleared it out. And I'm like, so now I'm like really confused. You know, I'm like, did we not
Huh.
clear this out? And are we on the 395 versus the 315 or whatever? Like, I'm like puzzled. And so Cap's like, well, no, I obviously it is. Like, look, the remotes don't work, the keypad don't work. And I'm like, okay, but so even when we talked to LiftMaster, because he was on the I had her on speaker, I had him on speakerphone, and I said, hey, by the way, I said, you know, why didn't the SUV clear out? And the guy kind of got snobby. He goes, well, he goes, I don't know. He goes, I didn't build the car. And I said, well, I understand that. I
Uh,
said, but I'm telling you, we cleared out everything. It never cleared out of the SUV. Why is that? And he just, I don't know, you know. And I'm just like, okay, well, we'll just roll with this. Now I'm sitting here like going, is this SUV going to drop out in a week or something? Like, is it just going to, you know, fuzz out, like not work? And so now, obviously, it cleared out her car because, you know, half an hour later when
hmm.
she came home, her car wasn't working. So
Right.
we got everything programmed. And I told him, I said, let's be very methodical about this. I said, so of course, when we were there, I said, let's go out. And I took video of this. I said, let's test the remote. And he's like, of course it's working now. Cause the guy was saying basically he has to pull up, he has to basically almost reach out his car to get it to work. And he says, and even the customer knew when we got there, he goes, it's absolutely light. We've tested it 100 times. He said, it's the lights. I'm like, okay. So we go out and of course we're going back whatever 100 200 feet or something, it's working. I said, okay. I said, well, let's mark the snow right here. I said, so we know it works here. Let's see if we can get more range out of it when we change the frequency. And we did. We got quite a bit more range out of it, but
Hmm.
to get there was just absolutely a nightmare. You know what I mean? And then this last Friday, when Jay went out to one, he's calling and he's trying to switch it over for being kind of proactive. I guess there was something else kind of going on. And it's just like, this is a nightmare. You know what I mean? To go through these steps to try to figure out how to change this. And then are you in it? Um, just very, very, you know, glitchy, you know, just I didn't
Hmm.
like that it didn't drop that SUV out. You know what I mean? That
Yeah, it's
work
kind of
makes
weird.
me that is kind of weird. And Cap was even saying something about he goes, well, even if they don't get divorced, he goes, what if they sell the house? You know, if you ever sell the house to somebody and you know, hey, I don't want nobody to have the code or whatever. And I just, you know, what's the odds? But it could happen. And I just said, I'm just more worried that we're going to get a call back. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, we've been to this customer way too many times, you know, like this has been, you know, and I see it even one of the texts, he tied a wire to it. He must have been trying to extend the wire because I was like, what the hell's this wire sticking out here? I was like, this is something new they're doing. And I'm like, oh, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to extend the range out, you know, and I was like, huh.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so the UFO ones, I think stay away from. I don't know what models
I
those are.
I had a customer call me the other day, and she said that I installed an opener 8 months ago, and now the opener was pushing down her concrete.
Oh, the
I
opener
said,
was
"What?"
pushing down her concrete?
Yeah, her floor.
Jeez.
Yeah. I said, I said, "Ma'am," I said, and I said, "That's pretty much impossible."
So one hell of an opener. You better get that one.
Well, around here, we're going through the weather's changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the freezing and thawing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I said it, this summer, so now she's got a gap or something. She called me back, says, "Oh, yeah, it's not your fault, there's another issue."
Uh
I'm thinking,
yeah.
"Yeah." I had to
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. It's
I thought of you when she said that. Whenever you touch something at the person's house, it's your
yep.
fault, no
Yep,
matter what.
that's what I tell the guys. I said, "You're the last contractor." I said, if the faucet
Yeah,
starts leaking, that's on you. Even though you weren't
yeah,
in the house, that's on you. It's like
yeah,
some people, man, I don't know what it is. It's such a I was telling Kayla about this the other day about how it's it's like you're a therapist. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you're constantly, it's like you got to sit there and they're sitting in the sofa and you're like, okay, what's the symptoms and how do you feel right now? And like it's just, and that's why I'm always trying to you know, like even for your viewers or for mine, it's like I'm always trying to
Yeah,
like that phone, you know, this phone right here is so important. You got to feel that customer out. You know what I
uh-huh,
mean? That's if stuff doesn't, your gut's kind of like, ooh, like something just feels the way they're talking, the way they're explaining things. It's not meshing.
mhm,
Send them to your competition.
yep.
you Unfortunately, we are
Yeah,
really busy right now, and I just don't want to leave you out for a couple weeks. You might be better off
yeah,
calling. These guys might be
yeah,
a better fit for you because that was a hard thing for me to learn. That was a very hard thing because it's like you always
yeah,
especially when you got bills and you're trying to grow and it's like you feel like you're trying to make a name and you want to make everybody happy. Sometimes it's better just to no, you know what I
yep,
mean? Like we're not we're gonna cut this at the knees right now and be done with this because this is not a good fit.
yep,
So that's I used to be able to get so good on the phone. I mean, we used to joke because I'd answer the phone, then we'd also go do the job. But I could already tell him I was just like, it's a 2 story, it's attached garage. It's like it's somewhat messy. Man door. And it's funny. We get, oh, how'd you know that? And it's because we didn't really have Google back then. And I
mhm,
was just like, I can just tell. Like I just know the person. And then I also started learning the lay of certain cities. And I already, like
mm,
I know if we go to I call it our mini little Detroit, I'm always like, you're probably going to be dealing with 8x7 and 1 piece stores. You know what I mean? That's very common for that era of area.
yeah,
So,
right,
but you just learn. But sometimes it's just, I think it's like, what is it like? If you're not losing like sometimes like 30% of the jobs, either like you're too low or you're too cheap, or there's kind of a saying to that, where you might not want to get every job. You know what I mean? Like
right,
something's got to give. So the girls, the secretaries, they know the thresholds. I had one call me one time and she's like, I don't know if you're gonna be mad at me. She's like, but this guy is being really disrespectful. And I was like, nope. I was like, cut him loose. You just lay into him. Tell him how you really. She's got. She always tells me what she's got in her bloodline, but she can get real rowdy, and so she said, all right. She said, I'm gonna let it loose, and I said, have at it.
yeah,
I said, you don't need. I said, they're not a long customer. It's a new customer. I said, you don't need to talk to you like that. I said, need to be respectful. I said, so
yep,
tell him adios amigo. Farm Jack residential. Clear. Oh, we're good, Evan says. Good here. Chip Scott. We're getting dumped. Oh no, with snow right now. Evan's getting it. Keep it up there, Evan.
mm, yeah,
'Cause I
no
think it
kidding.
because I think what Saturday we're supposed to start cooling off again a little bit.
67 tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, it's been nice. It's been in the 50s here, so it's been great.
Jeff said, "I'm wearing shorts tomorrow." I said, "Look good, because 'cause we're making our website."
right, 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 right.
He says,
Little pale
I'll be
chicken
in
legs.
short." Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Honestly, comfortable. My brother has sweet. Well, send me a picture of them, Tanner, or what model they are. Maybe I'll try out some. You get customers inside. They're pretty chatty with us. inside there. Oh, pretty chatty. That's cool. Like I said, sometimes it's nice with the customers, have them hang out. What's Mr. 405? He says labor, that's billed for comes out of your profit. That's why you need job costing every time. Jobber does a good job for that too. Have you been using your software yet, Tony?
No,
No.
no.
It's a hard habit to break.
I'm just so damn old school.
Oh,
I mean, I'm
hey,
trying. I'm trying.
hey, you're not the only one, man. I
I
have to do like
struggle.
a 3 process, right? I got more of these made because I'm still old school too. So when I go
For,
there, I write them up if it's a residential. These are really for
yeah,
me or for
yeah,
if people come in through the shop here. But
yeah,
I just I can just whip that out. I'm still I had to
yeah,
ask Cap the other day. I said, we got a form we got to fill out. And I said, where do you find the job number on this? And so he's like, it's in the details. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm learning.
yeah, yeah. It's so nice. It's really professional looking, but I do the same thing. I write the shit down,
Yeah.
and then I'll go and put it all in.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I could
Yep.
just do it all once,
I know. I know.
and it's I
Yeah.
just I don't know. It's a
Yeah,
hard habit to break.
it is.
I'm struggling,
Yeah, I
but
have a hard time giving people my phone too if they're gonna sign. It's scribble anyways, and
yeah,
then I feel like I should leave them with something, you know. So I typically like
yeah,
the paper form because then I also feel like it's my stamp of approval. So if
yeah,
somebody takes a picture and said, "Well, this guy was here," or something, and I can see it, and the secretary can show me, I'd be like, "Oh, that's definitely me. Like that was my screw up, or I was there." But then it sucks, like you said, because now then after hours or whatever, I got to send it either to a secretary and say, "Can you put this in, please?" And it's like, "Why did you do this?" And I'm like, "I know." I'm like, but
yeah,
I'm like, I'm doing this and doing this and doing this. So leave me alone.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I just
uh,
make more work for myself. Is all I do.
yeah, I feel you. Evans guys, I have a few Chamberlain equivalents, 8365s laying around still. Oh, nice. A few. Oh, I still got the 83 650s. Rusty does. Let's go rob his shop. Last year started stacking new ones and giving customers choices. Yeah, that's what we ended up doing. The customer had a LiftMaster belt, and then it was like we had a LiftMaster chain, had a Genie. We had a residential one, but they wanted the LiftMaster chain. So, but we definitely it'd been nice to have a LiftMaster belt or something.
Mhm.
I just don't really want to deal with the cameras. I like to stay away from the cameras if possible.
Yeah, it's just another thing to go
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, and it just gives them another. It reminds me of when HomeLink came out. You know what I mean? Like we would just always get suckered into. Well, can you program this to my car?
Oh,
Well, and then people don't understand. Like you got to hold it longer.
yeah,
So that's one. You know what I mean? Then you got to program it, and then it's like I'd watch them all the time push it, and I'm like, it's more not like a click, it's a pulse. I said you got to kind of hold it for a few seconds, then let go. Oh, okay. And then I've had some complain that the range isn't as good as the remote. I'm just like, oh my
mhm.
gosh. It's like we start going down that light bulb rabbit hole, and it just makes me want to take a fork and stick it in my eye. You uh, what's this say? Never change frequency. Never changed. I know. See, I wish Tony would have got to be able to change that frequency on that one they were having challenges with.
Yeah,
See if
I
that would have
know.
took care of it. Um, I just feel. I mean, don't you think that's kind of like I don't know how to like relate this, but I kind of think about like because I told him I said because the one tech was saying he goes, well, I already talked to him. He said and told them about and they were kind of on board but kind of not about changing the light bulbs. And I said, but here's the thing. So what if they change their light bulbs in the garage and that still doesn't take care of it?
Mhm. Yeah,
Now years ago, lots of years ago, I have a very tech guy down the road here that runs a what do you call it? It's an automotive. They put campers on and accessories and tonneau covers
Oh.
and all that. But he's a real techie guy. I
Mhm.
went in there. I was visiting, buying something, whatever, and he's like, Dave. He's like, come here, come here. And I'm thinking, oh shoot, like he's gonna want something door related, or can you go to my house and do something or whatever? I'm like, what's up, man? He goes, man. He goes, the new LED bulbs? I mean, he's all excited. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, and he's got money. You know what I mean? He's like, put him through my whole house. He's like, gonna save all kinds of money. Bought them all. And I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, I found out my garage door remote didn't work anymore. And I'm like, okay. So now it's like you got my attention. And he goes, I literally would have to get out of the car, have to get up to the door and push the button. He says, so the other night, he says, I go home, I call the kids on the phone. I said, turn off the hallway lights and the kitchen lights. He said, worked like a charm. But he says it has to be the hallway and the kitchen lights. And I'm like, and so what I'm thinking is like when this guy, is telling this customer, like, would you be opposed to like taking your LED bulbs down or your lights? And they got the three paddle lights up there. It's not even bulbs. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like I'm like, to me that's like I'm trying to think of a car, how to relate that to a car. You know what I mean? But like you bought this really nice car, but you can't drive it with these rims. We got to put metal rims on it. You can't have the aluminum ones, because of whatever reason. Like that's what it feels like to me. So I just don't like that.
Mhm.
And I don't understand why LiftMaster doesn't automatically just go to the whatever it's a 395 or something frequency,
Yeah.
if that's what takes care of it, because it
Right.
seemed to work. We haven't had them call. It's been, I don't know, 2, 3, almost maybe a month. They haven't called, no problem. So, okay, well, why don't we just stick with that frequency?
Right.
And what's weird is we looked a little bit. We didn't look super hardcore. We could not find the frequency for Genie. We're just doing some quick Google search. I'm like, what does Genie use? And we couldn't find it. So I don't know what Genie uses.
What was
Um,
that?
Seems randomly remotes and keypads don't want to work or have to click the button a bunch. But was it Bryson? Bryson says hi. Oh, he's got a cool little figure there. Clock, something. Can I
Mm.
have a shout out from Italy? Heck yeah. Is it Sammy? What else is Evan here? It
Wow.
says yeah, no, it's pretty cool. New Craftsmans don't have the cameras from what I can find so far. Yeah, I'm trying to like, it'd be nice to have some LiftMaster at least. So it's kind of the primo, because I don't know if this customer decided to go with another LiftMaster because it costs more money, just because they had a LiftMaster. Now I felt kind of bad because he had a belt. Now we put in a chain, but for some reason he wanted a LiftMaster. I wasn't the tech there, but we ended up Caleb ran him out one. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Maybe I'll have to ask like Kevin down there for Rich Bees. A few of my customers have those lights. Haven't had any issues with remote range with them. Nice. It's probably because Tony, how many have you dealt with? One, two, three?
Of what? The problem
Like
with
the
the
LED,
lights?
yeah, the LED problems.
Um, it's only been a couple.
Yeah, yeah,
Mainly that one lady. That
yeah.
was
That was a bad one.
she was I'll never forget that one.
I swear the tech was telling me, he says the one that got him really bad, we ended up changing the whole head unit. That's how bad it got. And he couldn't figure out,
Wow.
I think he put a circuit board in. That didn't take care of it. He went to put another circuit board in, but they gave him the wrong circuit board. So then I think he did like a second circuit board. That didn't fix it. So now we changed out the whole head unit. This is me who not
Wow.
even kind of know what's going on type of thing. And then come to find out, it seemed like he mentioned, I didn't clarify this yet, but the guy runs a kind of like an ice cream shop place. And then he's got like almost like an oil change next to it, but it's like a Bandit. He uses it for storage. So his house must not be too far away. and he was telling me something about like it sounded like what you had, Tony. The light, he didn't make it sound like it was on the outside of the building. It was on the house that was causing the interference. Like he was like, "Can you turn that light off?" You know, and then all of a sudden he's like, "The remotes work fine." And he's like, he's like, "Dave," he's like, basically like, "Do you know how much I felt like a donkey?" He's like, and I mean, this guy's like, he's all over social media, like, for his
Mm,
ice cream. He's got ice cream and foods. He runs a really nice place, very small town, mom and pop shop.
mhm.
And he's like, you don't screw around with this guy. And this guy was, he was super nice and everything, but he's just like, you know how bad I felt? I can't figure out what the hell's wrong with this thing. You know, like, I'm
Yeah.
really thinking there's something wrong. I get a circuit board and then they send us the wrong one. And it was just like, oh my gosh, So yeah, that was not good. So if you,
Sometimes it's the obvious or the easiest.
I know,
You jump for that board, and I've been there. I've been burnt. Oh,
What's weird is I've never heard or have experienced it myself, anybody having random opening or closing of doors like we did with the curly Q light bulbs. Because I had a few with the
yeah.
curly Q light bulbs that we weren't supposed to put them in. They weren't designed for them. And those ones, I had one down in Holland, Michigan, and went down there. Lady, the door's open, and I think my neighbor
Hmm.
and I was like, I highly doubt that. There's supposed to be a billion codes rolling all the time. And I said, so I don't think somebody's got your code. Well, then I could see the light bulb colors were different. I had two light bulb. I said, when'd you change that light bulb? She said about a week ago. I said, when'd you start having the problem? About a week ago. I said, can't use those light bulbs. You know. So what's weird is the LEDs. I don't think they're doing that. I don't experience that
Yeah.
anymore. Where I hear, my door is randomly opening or it's open when I come home, and so I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like those LEDs are definitely blocking the signal. That's for sure. Let's see here. Says I'm back. Customers lights haven't had any issues with remote range. Well, at least Evan, you're at the right spot because at least you're aware of it. That's the best thing. Because when you're not aware of it, you know what I mean? Whew, you know, it's crazy. It's kind of like me, right? Like when they the first one I ever had was at my own personal house. I had these kind of lights or the tube lights, and I put one behind and bought it from Menards. And then I started experiencing when the light was on. I didn't know it at the time. My garage door would randomly open and close. Now it was a used opener. I resalvaged it because I'm a garage door guy, right? I ain't gonna buy no
Mhm.
new opener. So I salvage it, and I notice every once in a while, man, I'd be out there working, and all of a sudden, kind of scary, ooh, door would go up or something. What the heck, and I'd be standing there thinking it's my wife or something, and then I'd be, no, there's nobody there. Okay, all right, well, I'd hit it close, or maybe I'd leave it open if it was nice weather. And all of a sudden, maybe it didn't matter. Sometimes it was 5 minutes, sometimes it was 2 hours. All of a sudden, boom, the door would close again. And then finally one day, I had a little fire. Some guys were telling me, my buddies, hey, your door's open and closing by itself. I said, yeah. Well, aren't you a garage door guy? Yeah. Shit, you know what that is? Yeah, that's kind of a good point. I should probably figure that out. So it dawned on me because my bedroom was right next to it. I thought, I never heard it at night or came out in the morning and it's open. So I was like, it's only happening when the lights are on. That's really weird. So I just took a cover, put on it, blocked the signal. Never had a problem. Left it there even until when I sold the house. And then
Hmm.
some time went on. We started putting those curly cube light bulbs, started experiencing problem. Then finally, LiftMaster sent a letter out with a memo. And I remember reading it, and it says, these curly cube light bulbs are causing interference or issues, and it can cause, and I'm just kind of chuckling like, "Huh, I've already done like 50 of them. Like, I've had no problems. They don't know what they're talking about. And well, sure enough, a couple weeks later, what starts happening? I got customers. It's not the range isn't working. I don't know if I think it did infect the range, but I remember the ones that would, my doors randomly opened, and it's like, oh crap. Then it's like I have to tell all these customers that came out so proudly with me, those little curly cube piggy
Yeah.
tail light bulb. Can we install this? This is going to save the world, and it's
Yeah.
going to save me 10 cents on my electric bill, and I'm like, sure. I'm like, and some didn't screw in the best. So you got to kind of squeeze them down a little tighter than normal, and it light up, and some were real dim, especially when they're cold. You kind of,
Yeah.
come on,
Oh,
light
yeah.
up, and they just were so happy. And then now it's like, now what do I do? Because now I got to carry my light bulbs because I can't, because sometimes I have people, you know how it is. I'd be there and I'd be like, you got any light bulbs? They come out, two different ones, all dirty.
Yeah.
One's half
Oh,
burnt.
yeah.
Well, I took this one out of my lamp and I got this one on my kid's bedroom, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah.
So and it's always like you did a really nice install. You're really proud of
Yeah.
it. And now you got two different color light bulbs, and you're just like, I gotta leave this like this, you know. you know? And, or just like the one that was down the road. That lady, she chewed me out a good one because she's, telling me, calls me up. She goes, I thought you installed me a good opener. And I'm like, I believe I did. I was like, she says, well, the light bulb quit working. I said, okay. I said, and I, I want to be a jerk, but I'm not. I said, I told you, and it just never phases me unless you have it in writing and signed. It just goes right over their head. And I told her, I said, I told you I took the old light bulbs out of your old opener, and I didn't know how long they're going to last. Well, it's not working. I'm like, I said, do you have a son or something? A son-in-law, I don't got nobody. And she was kind of a heavier
Uh,
set lady. And she says, I can't climb. And I don't want her climbing no ladder. And I'm just
yeah.
like, I got service calls coming out my ears, man. So now I'm like, I don't have none here. So I end up driving all the way to Lowe's to go get the Genie light bulbs. I'm thinking, heaven forbid, I do not want to hear from this lady ever, ever again about a stinking light bulb. So I don't want to put light bulbs in there. They're going to have interference or
Right.
that are going to vibrate and break. So I go down there. I pay $10 each, so it's $20. So now I'm out $20. Now I want my time. I got to go back down there. I put in light bulbs. There you go. Are we're all good. Yeah, you're happy. Can we move on in life? We got some weird
Funny.
characters over this neck of the woods.
Yeah, people though, I mean, you do something for them, they want it to work,
Oh yeah,
you
it's
know?
it's funny because I must have grilled it in Caleb because he was gonna go take that opener to one of the guys out in the field, and I said, okay, I said, got the rail. I said, we got, I even had him open up the box. I said, it says 267. I said, but I can't remember for sure. I said, I think that's two remotes, and I was like, keep that. I said, but I want to
Yeah.
make sure he has everything he needs. I said, let's double check. And so he's checking. Yep, it says okay. It's all there. Cool, good. Let's package it back up. And then he's just getting ready. He's in the truck, and I said, "What are we forgetting?" I said, "What are we going to fail at?" And he goes, "Light bulbs." Damn good idea. So let me go grab. So I grabbed even three of them. I said, "Here's three." I said, He can bring back the one." I said, "In case one's bad."
You
Evan
know,
says
if you'd have
he's.
packed 2, there'd only been 1
Oh,
would've worked.
I know. I probably would even sent two openers if I had two heads, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Genie, what's he says? Genie still uses 315 and 390. Okay. That's what Evan says. Had a large commercial tractor call me back today and ordered 214 commercial openers. Ooh. I had
Nice.
trim 6 other doors, retainers. I was bidding against overhead and was a few thousand more. Nice. 390 megahertz was a military frequency that garage door industry encroached on because the military wasn't using it. The military started using it. Planes were off. Garage doors were opening. I do remember that. I went to that as part of that LiftMaster Security Plus.
Mm,
That
mhm.
was kind of Security Plus went away pretty quick. I remember that we were doing all doors near airport base. We had to get special circuit boards with blue learn buttons to fix that. Wow.
Oh,
Huh.
wow.
Yeah, we never had that problem, but I
Excuse me.
remember hearing about it. Um, what's this one? Kelly something down here says I have a few of those weird looking things. Huh.
Oh,
It's the scene Chip's got one or two of those. Maybe it's the boards or whatever. Yeah, but I can't remember. Is it? Gosh, I thought LiftMaster. I wish I had that paper sitting here. I thought we were changing it to 395 frequency for LiftMaster.
yeah, I'm not
Uh,
sure what it was.
yeah, I'm not
I
sure if
made
they
I made
change
a
it.
video on it one time, but I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah. Did you buy? You still got some of those LiftMasters, the 8365s or whatever zeros?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I probably got 20 or so at least
Nice.
or
Nice.
more.
But nobody
Yeah.
knows. I don't think nobody's commented on what LiftMaster has. I figured Rusty would know, at least a trolley. I don't even know if I can go to their website and find it. They used to always have these
Oh,
like little cheat sheets they always send us, and they haven't been sending us. We don't get those cheat sheets anymore. It seems like. I
the
guess I
cheat
could.
sheets for the frequency on different units.
Well, I got that, but I was just thinking more or less. Like I might try to check out LiftMaster here in a second. I'm just trying to see if they got one that's doesn't have uh a light or a camera on it.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
I can
Rusty'd probably know more about that. He sells a lot of different stuff.
I know he likes his jack shaft though, so he might not deal with the trolleys. I don't know if they updated it, because I know the secretary, she looked and she was like, well, it says on Lift Masters, and I don't know why, but it always seems like the garage door industry is always really far behind. It seems like sometimes, like smartphones are just boom, here's the new smartphone, and
Yeah.
it's like everything
Yeah.
changes overnight. You know what I mean? It's like, and then it's like the garage door industry always feels like it's like lagging, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we still haven't updated our thing, and it's like, what? It's like, come on, what are you talking about?
Right.
So I'm gonna click on their thing and check it out and see if I. Oh, they got the UFO looking one. I see that. That's our first thing that pops up. That's been a lot of fun. I thought hopefully they were getting rid of that.
That one has a camera on it, doesn't it?
It
That you
does. It
Yeah.
does. And that's the one that we had problems. I think they call it, we got a 6690L, 4690L. I said these numbers mean, obviously, I hear this one all the time, the 98022. That's the jack shaft, but they got bestsellers. And then I think they got, let's see here, start shop. I don't know what I want to shop. I don't know. I think their website even just kind of is lame to me because it's not very, like, I can't find, I guess I'll just
N
use shop all, but
Not user friendly.
yeah, I mean, like, I'm trying to just find some basic, like, what's the basic contractor series? And all I see right now is this UFO. They got a smart camera, my cute garage camera, Gen 2. Okay, whoopee. Like, I need a garage door to
Mm,
function first. You're a garage door company first before you're a tech company. And it's like everything's
right.
just getting pushed to be tech.
Right.
So, but I will give them credit. They gave me good tech support when I was working on a gate a couple days ago. The lady was really on top of her game, so that was nice.
That's good.
Yeah, I just didn't. Well, I wasn't too thrilled when that guy was just, he tells us he's like, "Oh, I didn't make the SUV." It's like, well, I understand, but
Uh-huh.
you deal with these how they link up and stuff, and you know what home link is, and is there something that changed or
Yeah.
that we need to be aware of?
That's hard to believe he said,
Yeah,
"I didn't make the SUV."
right. I understand that, but can we compromise here? Can we figure something out? Yeah, it never fails. So you have any long distance losers lately?
Um, no, not that everything I do is pretty daggone close. I
Yeah,
mean, if I do go back, I mean, we have had to go back quite a bit, but
yeah,
we're only 15 minutes or so. We're not
yeah.
far.
What do
It's
you
not
think
like
the Go ahead.
it's not like when I was in Texas and you're driving 2 hours to a job,
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So,
No, I know. That's one really nice thing about being close. Whoops.
yeah.
It's it's freaking out on me a little bit here. No,
Yeah, it's
we had one that was a little bit and that Caleb was on. And then of course it had that hollow seal. So it's super
mhm,
cold out. Well, he was banging it, right? He ended up splitting, kind of broke in the middle.
mhm,
And I was just like, yep. I was like, this, and of course it's brown, so it's all we got. And I'm just like, you're gonna have to
uh,
leave it. And the jams weren't that nice anyways. I don't think the customer really cared. It was just like,
yeah,
whatever, dude. And then he was struggling. Oh, Evan's got somebody's got Craftsman too, but he was struggling with that genie opener. He was having some fits with it, so I had to head up there and give him a hand. But that was definitely a slap in the butt where it was like, you know what, stay local.
Yeah.
The distance just really, and there's and of course we were getting ready to leave and it started snowing. It was like, oh, it's like, how bad is
Uh,
this going to get? And it's like an
yeah.
hour and 30 minutes too, so it's
Oh,
a hike.
shit.
Yeah, so it was like I already had to bring my duffel bag for if I was going to crash up at the hunting shack up at the trailer. You know,
Damn.
have to take a bird bath for the night or something. But yeah, it was not not fun. So
Mhm.
yeah, try to stay local. That seems to help a lot.
It's the best.
I mean, you forget something, somebody needs something,
Yep.
you know, it just
Yeah.
helps. Security doors. I'm still looking for something on here. I guess this one has a camera too. So okay. I thought they were going to come out with a contractors parts accessories premium. We can do premium. What if I don't want premium? I just want junk. Give me junk. Where's the contractor series? God darn it. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you
a
would think the contractor series, they wouldn't want that. That's
I
more
don't know
money.
if I thought I heard that you couldn't get a belt without a light because I do see there's a heavy duty chain smart opener. It was the UFO style. So and it's an
Hmm.
8782. So if we do a chain, we can only do a chain that doesn't have a that's really crummy.
It's
So
crazy.
and we got rails I'd like to burn up. And
Mhm.
so what are we gonna do? Get a box store and throw away the rest?
No, you don't throw away the rest, you hang on to it.
How many times you ever
So
need a tube or something? What are you gonna use, the chain or the belt?
well, maybe the tube get rid of, but I've used the chain and cable.
Yeah, that does
I
happen.
I've used, let me think, the trolley. I've
Yes,
used
trolley.
those,
Yeah,
I've replaced those.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's true.
So and the little pulley at the end that
Oh,
for
yeah,
the cable.
yeah.
Uh, so you have parts.
Yeah. Does the pulley what goes wrong with the pulley for you? Is it just wear out and
Break,
break off?
they
Breaks?
break.
Yeah.
Usually when I get to a job, half of it's gone or a couple chunks where it's hit, where they didn't bend up the piece on the end and
Yep.
the
Yep.
trolley come down and hit the
Yep.
pulley a couple times.
I smashed a couple till I learned my lesson, you know? You know? Better put that
Mhm.
tab up right away,
Yeah,
you
pull
know?
the tab
Sitting there watching the door, next thing
for
you hear a
sure.
crunch, and it's like, "Oh, hell
Oh,
no."
shit. Oops.
This ain't good. Let's see
Yeah,
what they
I
got here.
was I was very famous for when I worked for somebody, I would take their LiftMaster, throw away the head, and keep the rail. I was
Oh.
so and then I'd put it on a Chamberlain.
Oh, sure, sure.
Did that all the time.
Yep. Yep.
So I have all kinds of parts for that
Ah,
kinda stuff. All those
right.
pulleys and chains and yeah.
Yeah, I learned my lesson one time. I had a customer break the cable broke. It was a chain, half chain,
Mhm.
half cable.
Mhm.
And some reason I thought I could bend that cable back and re-swedge that thing. And that was the worst thing I ever did because it was like there wasn't like enough on the I think I maybe just got enough on the nut, but it's like it lost its travel.
Mm.
So like it would like get sucked up in something. I forget whatever it was, the pulley or the opener. So it's like it was perfectly designed the way it was. And I always remember telling myself if a cable ever breaks again on one of these, I will not snip it, retry to loop it. It's we're done. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
either and then I can't remember if I went and got another one. And then of course there's that always that kind of theory, right? Well, if you ever change chain, technically you're supposed to change the sprocket, right? Because they kind of match up now over the years. They wore
Mhm.
out. Now, when I've done them before, and they normally pop a little bit. You hear them pop, and it normally goes away. It's like they almost kind of
Mhm.
break in quite soon. But yeah, I that was I was already committed. You know what I mean? It was like I wasn't going to give up, and
Right.
but something that was probably should have been 30 minutes an hour was like 2 to 3 hours in. You know what I mean? Where it's like by the time I had to drive back, try to dig up a cable slash chain, then go back, and it was like it's like I'm committed. Like I told you
Mhm.
this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it, darn it. And then I was like, honestly, I was like, I would have rather made 20 bucks off an opener and just put a new opener in this son of a gun than to screw around with this damn thing. You know what I mean? Like that's how
Yeah.
I felt. Like I was like, and I would have felt confident too because I mean I had it swedged so tight, on the cable or however I did it. I think even like the new chain, it was like maybe it was too long a little bit. It's like it's all engineered, and that's why I'm never a big fan about swapping certain stuff because I don't have to think, when it's brand new in the
Right.
package, if it's got because I've done it before where it's like even like when I use the rails sometimes, I don't know why, but sometimes like, your adjuster, it's like sticking way out more than it should, to get the chain tight. And it's like, why is
Mhm.
that? It's like, is the chain stretched? Is it just how it's engineered? Is the head unit like a
Well,
little the motor closer? What's going on here?
I tell Jeff, like, because Jeff will ask me that. He says, "Why is it from one to another, it's never adjust to the same spot?"
Mm,
I said, "Because that chain was made different days."
yeah,
And the
yeah.
guy, he could have been talking and he counted, 58 instead of 56.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
know, they're just different lengths.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're never I've seen it, it's never,
Yeah.
dead nuts. I mean, it's pretty close, but,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It's like
I've
sometimes
had them all over.
you get that adjuster nut and she's winged way out because you got so
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
it's like, man, that damn thing's gonna catch something. It's like sometimes they get a little tweak too, because sometimes I get a little zealous with them, put a half-inch socket on them, zip them down, trying to be speedy, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I've done that before, if I can get it in there. Sometimes I
Now
can't.
when you once you get that tighten, that adjuster, do
Yeah.
you take your wrench and on the back side of it, the
Yeah.
chain side, and pull that out so it
I mean,
tilts? 'Cause, your adjuster will pull away from your
yeah.
bar, your
Right.
rail. I
Right.
always put the plier or pair of the wrench right here and then push it so it goes like this.
I don't think I've really
I
done much of
have
that.
because I've noticed if I don't take the adjuster and
Uh-huh.
have it pointing towards the rail, it'll
Right.
sit there, and because it's like this, it'll sit there and slap the rail. And
Oh, that's a good. Yeah,
if you
yeah,
bend
yeah.
it out, then this is farther away from that rail, the T part of the rail,
That's a good idea.
and it
That's a
don't
good idea.
smack.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think didn't supposedly I haven't dealt with a new one yet, but did they put a spreader in there now? They got that plastic spreader that helps on that a
Oh,
little
on the
bit
new,
too.
I don't know, I
I don't.
know on the Chamberlains, they have the spreader.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't know about the new LiftMaster or anything.
I tell you, Tony, it feels like sometimes I've tried to re-engineer these openers so many different ways. Like I had a vendor I was just going to buy the rails from, and then I was gonna buy like the heads, for another way, maybe through a box store or maybe online
Mhm.
or something. And it's quite the challenge because um, it's I don't know. It's just sometimes when you sit there and by the time you start slicing it and looking at it, you're like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
saving 12 bucks. You know what I mean? But what's my time
Right.
worth? You know what I mean? Like, you know, so it's kind of
Yep.
it's a weird system when like I'm sitting here thinking about those linears still. And I really like that for that sales pitch. I like that we could have one head and we could make that choice. You could slip on a belt or
Yeah.
you could slip on a chain. And I did like that feature, you know. So and I
Mhm.
think the genies we can kind of do that a little bit too with the belts or the chain. So that's sometimes kind of nice. So it just, it shrunk our inventory versus, well, we got to have this model lift master. We got to have so many belts. Well, then do you have just 7 foot? Do you do 8 foot? I don't know if they do 10 foot in belts, but maybe now we got 10 foot. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, now we got chain. Well, chain, we got to have, we got to have 7. We got to have, you know what I mean? It just seems like it's a lot more inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's like right now, we still got some old inventory that needs to get burned up because it's just, stuff's starting to get kind of surface rust. The boxes are getting rough. So that stuff needs to kind of go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know. What's this one say up here? I'm reading that line here. I think somebody said the opener, they got a LiftMaster's got to update their website. So to pin, just update their website. Still have the old 2.0s. Oh, not all the 3.0s. Yeah, that's crazy. Um, I'll probably just like email Kevin and say, yo, say what you got that's got no camera on it. He'll probably just
Mm-hmm.
say, all we got is these chain drives. That's probably what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I bet.
Um, Rusty says I can order, it was 84602 from Copay, battery backup DC. Drive, no camera. Might order a few. Oh, I better write that down because I have to see
Oh,
if anybody's got them. That'd be nice.
84602.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down because I'm assuming if Clopay has them, that's what they're selling. So you mean take a chain rail job instead of a belt? Drive around trip to get another. Oh yeah, I think Rusty was that today, Rusty? Were you having that problem? Like that
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a bummer. You get to a job and it's a belt rail instead of a chain. Oh,
Mhm.
uh-huh.
Mhm. Mhm. I see. See, I think that's why that Lanier, like I said, you could have
Yeah,
one head and you could throw in, I mean, if you could get a picture, that'd always been good so you could tell how tall the door is roughly.
yeah.
Or if they could tape measure it, but that would, hopefully save some of that headache. Uh, but I don't think really anybody deals with Lanier anymore.
I'm I'm wondering if Lanier's on the way out.
I wouldn't doubt it. We did one down the road here as a guinea pig. I forget what it was. I forget what they did something with their commercial openers that I liked. I think what it was, they still had an outside hookup for your radio. And that's why I also liked even Power Master. Supposedly the rumor I heard was LiftMaster got rid of it because it was a safety issue. Okay, sure, whatever. I think it was a bean counter thing. I think it's because LiftMaster always wants you to buy, they sell you
Mhm.
something, you got to buy the remotes now. You ain't gonna use somebody else's radio. But like, I can't tell you. Let me grab it real quick here. We just did this. We just did this gate, right? We just gutted this gate out, and right here's the heart. I think they have 85 trucks for this facility. Could you imagine going around and trying to get all the remotes to
No.
program? And they got personal trucks and everything else. It's all right here. So all we have to do is this will wire into our new gate operator, and we're done. You know what I
Is
mean?
that a
Like that's all.
multi-code?
It's a multi-code.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
it's just got an antenna on it. But realistically, I could, put this in the notes or whatever I want to do. Right. It's got dip switches. And so this is the way I love it. I love it. It's just in there. We just put it back in
Nice.
and all their stuff should work. So,
Nice.
we have a lot of commercial that we do with that too. And that's why I like a separate radio because, um, if you change on an opener, I mean, I've been there and people are like, well, we got forklift trucks. And then they never can find the damn things, you know? And, if it's a button learn crap, well, that can be a problem.
I'll be right back. I
Oh,
gotta
you're
use
good.
the restroom.
Oh,
I gotta take
outdoors
a leak.
one.
Yep.
Let's see here. Basic lift master is
Mother Nature.
Yep, that's right. Spring says it's working on. What is this one? Me were to change on set, drive around. Customer calls again later and says it's not working, and I drive back and oh man, outlet is on a switch. Oh my gosh. That's when a murder happens. Let's see, yeah, space limits there is. Spreader. Now, anyways. Oh, so the spreader, that plastic piece. Jimmy, how you doing? Let's see here. How much do you make here for taxes? Like me or Papa Tony? Tony makes way more than me. Um, it's three figures, but it's a hard three figures. If you want to be, you know, it all depends on how you work the magic. That's right. Not today. That's right. What's that one guy, that comedian guy, right? He goes, he goes, with all the expenditure, he goes, I make nothing. He goes, absolutely nothing. He looks like a mad scientist. He's funny, dude. Oh man. What's this crap, man? Rusty says Clope had two in stock. What, the 84602? That's all? You
Uh,
gave me a bogus number. Last two? Shoot. Come on, man. Ah, help a brother out. Who's the lift master guru around here? Come on, we need somebody. Just give me some damn models that are existing. Not the UFOs. I don't want the UFOs.
you don't like those UFOs, huh? The
I
built-in
think
light.
I think I absolutely hate them. Honestly, I didn't like the covers on it. How the covers opened up, and then I just think about the LEDs when they fail, because they are going to fail. And then
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm going like, that's not like a customer can fix that. Like I just like I was, I feel like we're going into that stage of like that dealership, where it's like, the whole thing with now, the right to repair, where like nobody can repair their own, like I don't know what I'm gonna do, like when I gotta go out to a customer and be like, yeah, it's gonna be like, so the part's like $170 for the LED, and then for my labor, so we're at like 250, $300. And they're going,
For the
God
light.
damn. They're
For the
going, well,
light.
how much, right? How much for a new opener? I'm like, it's like $600, 800. And they're like, well, maybe I should just do a whole, yeah, you should, yeah. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of go, I don't know, man. Like I just do not want to be the person with that, It's like these what is it? Ford has one out there with that taillight or something. It's like it's either like 14 or $1,700 for a
Oh,
taillight. It's like,
oh, they're
oh
crazy.
yeah, it's like,
All
come
them
on, man.
fancy lights are
Right.
extremely expensive.
Right. And then it's like I keep seeing these little things talking about these bright lights at night. Well, my truck got hit before I owned it, supposedly by a deer. Well, the headlights or something's a little funny. So if I got a little weight in it, they shine up. So occasionally I get people to flash their lights at me, and I'm like, dude, these are my standard lights. They're not the brights. But tonight even I had somebody drive and they got those LED, and I'm like, I feel, they show like little things on like Facebook or something where somebody's got like their welding, mask up because it's just so bright out. And I was like, I think those are his normal lights, but damn, those are bright. Like, you know,
Mhm.
I can't see. And so I don't know.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Hell yeah. Definitely you don't want to hit a new vehicle.
No, no. It's weird. I don't know why this is, but I know my mom, she hit a deer not too long ago and she had her car fixed, but now they won't let her have full coverage. I thought
What?
I just thought, I'm surprised they don't take your money. Like I just
No
and it,
kidding.
and it wasn't like a bad, like where it hit, did the frame or anything. It was just a light bump in the grill. Uh I don't even know if the hood even got damaged, but it was like the grill headlight a little bit, maybe a front bumper. But yeah, they went supposedly they have full
Yeah.
coverage now. So I'm like,
Yeah.
hmm, that's weird.
Yeah. So
Maybe.
they're penalizing you for turning something in.
Oh, I'm sure. I
Nice.
haven't asked her yet, but I'm sure, keep an eye on your, if they're charging you more.
Yeah.
Evans
That's crazy.
guy. I don't know if I've ever come across a Lanier. I don't know if Lanier's. We don't really have a good contact anymore, a good sales rep or anything for Lanier. Do you? Can you get your hands on Lanier, Tony? Do you have like a vendor that?
No,
No,
no.
yeah, yeah. But
Mm-mm.
you were saying you think they might be. So what I forgot to mention was we did those commercial doors, and they were kind of, yeah, they did the job. They're right. The problem was really is the technicians I had at the time didn't do a really good install. The doors were too damn tight, and then of
Mm,
course they put steel on everything, so everything was tight. We went back and I was like, oh, it's like, now what do we do? You know what I mean? You got to move the J, you got to move steel, cut steel. So you just kind of lived with it. But about that time, that's when all of a sudden they discontinued. It was like they don't do commercial anymore. And I was like, oh.
hmm.
So, then it went to just residential. When our sales guy, he retired or quit or whatever. And then we just kind of went, because he was always here pushing. He always had his trunk full. He'd come, show us different stuff, different products. And so now I guess I don't know where they stand, I don't know where you can even. I think I know maybe one vendor, but we don't go there anymore just because we get everything shipped to us.
Hmm.
So at least we
I
try.
I wouldn't
Go-
know where to go to get them.
I know. I just, yeah. So you might be onto something that they might just be kind of.
I think they're fading out. I really do.
Yeah, yeah. They probably are. I haven't been to Menards even. I don't know if they're still carrying the Performax or what they got going on. Lanier, what's Tanner's? Yeah, Big Toe Nice is I should have no. How much it may, how it does. Yeah, buys and it works. No, the day my card gets rejected. Right, there you go. Evan says something about what do you have to watch out for before installing a door in a garage where concrete is getting put in. Ooh, you just don't do it. You do it after the concrete. That's the right way to do it. I mean, they'll bury your track sometimes. You don't get it right. It's not the end of the world. It just sucks for the next guy. Measuring correctly. Yep. So you don't. I've put bolts in the bottom of mine before when I've stacked my track, but honestly, if it's like residential or something, I just tell them get a blue tarp and you know block it, get some sheets of wood or whatever, and just I'd rather wait till the concrete because that to me, what do you think about this PT? To me, it could be another callback. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if something doesn't get right, it might be my door evens off, or
Hmm.
my door is on in the concrete, and now the door doesn't hit it right. You know what I mean? Hey, my door's not sealing, and it's like, well, god darn it. It's like I wasn't planning on, another, you know, and then like you really normally can't do your outside perimeter seal typically. You know what I mean? Because they'll mud it, or it's not finished enough to even be done because you ain't got your
Hmm.
trim up yet. So now uh, you're shooting, you know, I don't know. I just don't like doing it. I've had people put trim up tight now, it shouldn't be
Yeah.
flushed, so they pinched my door. I've gone back, had mud on my door, splatter of mud.
Hmm.
It all depends on the level of the
Concrete,
customer. Yeah, yeah,
concrete from
concrete.
the driveway put in. Oh, I've
Yeah,
had that
yeah. So
on a black door.
yeah. Oh, ooh,
Yeah,
black door.
ruined it. Ruined it.
Yeah, stuff like stains, doesn't it? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you ain't getting it,
Done.
yeah, it stains it.
Done.
So that's why I'm just, I know people are impatient. Um, I even thought with commercial now, it typically doesn't happen with commercial. But I've had some customers that are like the owners that are kind of working as the GC, and they're like, "Well, I want this, or I want the door to go up as high as it can," and I just I what I normally do is I tell them, I say, "Okay, look," I said, "Yes, you're gonna have to wait 2 to 3 weeks." I said extra, but I said if you want this done right, let's get the concrete in here, let's have the building built, and then let me come in and I'll measure it. So if I see any obstructions in the way, or now I know where my ceiling's at, and my floor, I got a better, instead of I just had a building on dirt floors and I got red steel with no ceiling in this place, I'm just kind of okay. Is that it, or they still putting something else in here for cross members? So I'm always,
Mhm.
but I try not to. I never really have good luck. I don't. The only thing I can see beneficial about doing garage doors on dirt floors is that you beat the electricians, you beat the water suppression guys. Um, but it's to me is a morale killer. Like none of the guys, I don't like doing it.
Yeah.
Everything is in the dirt. I've had it before. It seems like no matter how cleansely I try to keep it, it seems like every time you roll up the door, especially if it's got metal rollers, it's just
Yeah.
like, that's freaking great. You know
A
what I
lot
mean?
harder on your body too.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah. You just can't whip out a ladder
yeah.
and, jump up 4 feet or 6 feet. You gotta have a special lift. You're trying to level your track and get stuff pinned, and then I've had it before where it's like, I gotta start using vice grips because my door's getting heavy. It's gonna blow out the bottom, or it's starting to bend something. I've had bent rollers. Um, it just adds a lot more complexity. There's just no,
Mhm.
um I don't know. To me, like I said, there's only the one benefit, which is you beat everybody and they got to go around your crap now. You know what I mean? But otherwise, it's just like you got to use different scissor lifts. You got to use, I don't know. Concrete's just so much better. I feel like it's
Mhm.
just the right way. It's like you don't put up the red steel before you do the foundation. You know what I mean? So they do the foundation, then they do the red steel. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain
Right.
procedure. They don't, well, why doesn't Sparky just put up 2x4s and start running his wires? I mean, no, it's got to have stuff to go to. Well, we got certain protocols we got to go to too. So that's the only thing I think of because we have a competition or competitor. And when I was talking to that guy up at deer camp, he was kind of like he was kind of doing the sniff. He's like, don't you do garage doors? I'm like, nope, not as much as I used to. And then he's like, well, would you want to? And I'm like, nope. He's already telling me how they go to this state or not this state, but this county and this and that. And he's like, yeah, he's like those other guys, they got like a boom lift and everything. And I'm thinking the only thing I could see is that when you're, in my opinion, when you're running a crew and maybe you got like a lull and you got to keep the crew moving. So you're like, you know what I mean? Like let's keep this ball rolling. Or I mean, it could be the contractor too, because I know I've had a contractor do that to me all the time where it's like, well, we want the doors in so we can pour concrete. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay. And I'm like, well, but that way we can open and close it. And I'm like, and in my opinion, I feel like I should, come back and say, okay, we can do that. We can accommodate, but it's going to be another $1,000 more. You know what I mean? And they, what? Yeah. Or, it might even be more than that because if I got to get a certain lift, to do
Mhm.
our job. It's just a lot more. You know how it is, and then you get there, and then the freaking concrete guys got forms and shit in the way. You know what I mean? And you're in, you know what I mean? So it's like, and he's got strings set up. You know what I mean? You're like telling everybody,
Mhm.
including yourself, don't touch the damn string. And every time you do, somebody's over there. God, yeah, who hit the string? And it's like, you know, you know what I mean? Like, you're all
Uh-huh.
fumbling over each other. It's just like, you know,
Yep.
it's just, you know, I
Yeah.
forget the last one.
That's
Go ahead.
it's usually one of my number one questions when somebody calls about a barn door or whatever. Does
Yeah.
it have a concrete floor? Yes, it does. It's like, okay, I'm interested.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking the guys, I guess, Cap, he made somebody mad because they went in there, they were going to start doing something. They were going to start doing the one door. Well, now the guys, he's trenching in the garage for a drain.
Uh-huh.
And, Cap's like, I can't work. I can't run my lift over this. He's
Yeah.
got like an off-road lift. And he's
Yeah.
like, so we're like, and the guy was like the concrete guy was telling him, like, well, you need to get this in. He's like, so we're pouring tomorrow or the next day or whatever it was. And he's like, kiss my hiney. He's like, it ain't gonna happen. He's like, we're planning on doing this one today. We'll get to that one when you get your damn drain in or whatever you're figuring out over here, so we can drive our lift over. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, you know what? It's like I just feel like I want to be like, y'all big boys, y'all go to y'all charm up when you're at the hardware store or at the lumber yard, right? Oh, how's it going, Betsy? That's right. You talk to Betsy and you get yourself some damn 2x4s and a tarp or some plywood that you're going to use on another job, or steal it for your, one of your guys are going to take it for some deer shack or something, and you board that son of a biscuit up. You know what I mean? I'm not part of this. You know what I mean? I mean, I can be a part of this, but it's going to be more of this because my job is going to increase, and I'm going to have to babysit it. I'm going to be here for another day or two because it's just guaranteed somebody's going to be something's going to
Yep.
be wrong. You know what I mean? I mean, how do you get these lifts in there if they got certain stuff? I mean, it just I don't know. It just never works for me. You know what I mean? I've done it too many times. I mean, the last one I did that was on my watch was down the street here, and I told the guy, I said, I won't say his name, but anyways, we'll call him Mr. B. I said, Mr. B, he says, he goes, hey, I need you to put that door in. And I said, there's no concrete there. He goes, well, he goes, they ran out of money. They're going to sell the building. I said, okay. I said, I understand that. He says, we're part of the door. We're not doing, he's going to be the GC, do the concrete, but they ran out of money. I said, okay, I get it. So we went down but it was, we had to get certain ladders. The lift ain't going to work in there. I think the
Mm,
builder was nice enough. He had a boom lift, but boom lifts suck. You know what I mean? They're all,
mhm.
I mean, you try to move, you're like swinging by the walls.
Yeah.
Employees, even myself, I feel like I'm going to smash the wall out. You know what I mean? Moving the joystick one way or another. Everything's delayed. You can't fit nobody up there like you want. It's just it's a lot of headache.
Yeah.
Let's see where how much wife is something high says hello. Measure correctly. So it will be yes. Like doors. Tanner, like doors, yes. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, You cut the string. If you cut the string, you won't hit it. That's funny. That's a good tip. I like that one. Rich is here. What's up, Rich B? He says, hey, it wasn't me. Yeah, I just, like I said, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people use blue tarps and 2x4s, and there you go. Have at it. Walking those things in, trying to put them on sawhorses, and sawhorses are sinking. If you don't have tables, my picnic tables, as Rusty would say, all your crap's in the dirt. You're going to put all your screw guns and crap. So it adds up. Well, you think, Tony, you're gonna wrap her up here and get
Yeah.
going for tomorrow? Because you
Yeah.
actually, you know, you don't get to play retired old man yet.
No, not yet. One of these days.
What's on the first thing for tomorrow, you think?
Tomorrow, we're
Yeah.
we're heading over. We're putting in
Oh,
3
three.
doors. That's
What size were those
number 1.
again?
Um, 2 8 by 6.5
Oh,
extension
yeah.
spring, and then a 9 by 6.5 or 9 by 7, something like that.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice. Are
they're
they
all
getting
extension springs.
are they getting new openers or just rehooks?
No, they're just
Reconnect? Oh,
freestanding.
damn. All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, there's no room for an opener. It's
Are
a
they
flip
gonna
property. It's a
Oh,
flipper.
okay.
Yeah,
Are they gonna
we're
have
just
outside T handles or is it just slide locks?
slide locks on the inside
Man, how you get so lucky? I hate doing T handles.
because I won't do those.
No, you won't.
Nah, I mean if I had to, but I
Oh, they
try not
suck.
to.
They suck.
I
I don't
try
like
not
them.
to. Yeah, me neither.
Dual
Me
springs
neither.
for Oh, Evan's got was his two 10 by 8s. He says with dual torsion springs for me Friday. Dual torsion springs. Was it like a normal torsion spring? Is that what that means? Like a left and a right?
Yeah, I think that's what he means, but
He
I'm
must
not
he
sure.
he must be used. What's funny is I guess Caleb he posted something and he said he had somebody say, "Oh, this must not be a real garage door company. He only uses one torsion spring on a 16 by 7." I said, what a dingleberry. I said, I said, he said, I told him that's what the manufacturer sends. And I said, what an idiot. I said, isn't it so petty what people find? You know,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I thought, heck, Wayne Dalton used to do that to us all the time. Give us one spring,
Uh-huh.
one big
Oh yeah.
spring.
Yep.
This Rusty special on here is what Rich has got. Oh, Well, I'll let you, like I said, if you want to start wrapping her up here, because I know you got
Yeah.
an early day.
Yeah, I got
You gotta have your pretty face and you
yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah. Your pretty face, gotta get all I wanted to go get my hair cut, and I forgot. Now
Oh no.
I'm gonna have my wings tomorrow for my
Right.
video.
Right.
Bummer,
Oh, if you get a
bummer.
chance to, make sure you snap a few pictures and send it so we
I
can
I plan on doing a live,
oh
so
well,
you guys can see our website being built.
we know how sometimes those lives go. They probably got no service or something.
Well, they freeze up and yeah, you know how they go.
I
Hey,
do. I do.
I'm not a professional
Oh,
cameraman.
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's like a whole nother job, man. Accessories, what's it say? Extension spring separate the man from oh, it's Rusty's got from the yeah.
Yeah.
I still what do you still though? You still like torsion over extension, don't you, Rust or Tony?
Yo, yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
yeah, I love a torsion. I
Oh
mean,
man, just
I'll do extension springs. It just they just
yeah,
run shitty.
yeah. It's like I really try not to if there's 16 by 7, then it's like too much wiggle. Little doors don't
Yeah.
bother me. The eight
Right,
by
right,
sevens, 9 by 7s, they
right,
don't bother me too much. But you get those
right.
bigger ones, especially they're trying to do an opener.
Yeah.
Um, Tanner says going back playing in the dirt tomorrow. Make sure I get a picture of those boots, Tanner. Um, says T trolleys. Oh, finish the doors. Should be done by noon. Heck yeah, man. You're gonna get everybody lunch and back to lakes for more, I'm sure. What's Eva 98 low headroom tomorrow? Ooh, nice. Can't wait for after. What's this one says? Can't wait for the after report, Evan. Shoot a video of it. There you go. Take a video. I think Rich's guy says nothing over what 10 feet.
Nothing over
Oh,
10.
probably for extensions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get kind of wonky on there. Well, I hope you have
Yeah.
a good day tomorrow with your website and all that.
Yeah. I hope we do too. And I just wanted to thank everybody for all the help today with trying to find that gear.
Yeah, yeah,
What a great community that we can, reach out and help each other out.
for sure, for sure.
Don't get that much. I'm not used to that. Not around here anyways.
I understand that. I totally get that
Um,
one.
but yeah, no, I appreciate you all showing up and watching our video and yeah, there's just all that good stuff.
What's Tanner got? He's got www.org or something. Dot .org. I don't know what that means. That's some website or something I'm supposed to know about.
I don't know. What's the little icon? The
It's like
little
cry face or something.
oh.
It's a little crying. I don't know what he's got on
Well,
there.
no, right in front of it. It's like it's got an A. I can't even make it out.
It's older, he says. I don't know. Huh. I don't know. Well, hey,
We're old.
we're old. That's right. We got
Yeah.
gray hairs, right?
Yeah.
All the
Oh,
stress over the years.
plenty.
I
Plenty
want
of
to
'em.
tell you guys too, thank you so much for being here. And also thank you for helping Tony and helping me out. Cause like I said, it is a great community. We learn, so much from each other back and forth. And of course, if you guys always need me, you can always text or email. And I'm sure you can do the same with PT.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, you guys
So
got my number now.
yep, that's
I
right.
had a lot of people getting a hold of me.
Make sure you blow him up around about 2, 3 in the morning. He likes that.
Yeah, that's all right. I can leave the phone in the other room.
Right. All right, guys. I think we're getting out of
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
Uncle
Yeah.
Dave
Thanks
and
for showing
PT,
up.
we're gonna hit the sack here.
That's right. Not together.
No,
Not
no,
together.
no. We don't do that.
Hey, oh, and Tanner, thanks for the sweatshirt. I really like it. It's very comfy.
Those are nice sweaters.
They are. Very nice. Very nice. Well, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for sticking in with us. Papa Tony out.
See you, Tony.
Dave. See you, Dave.